And we're live.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Stormcrest Adventures with the low-level adventurers, as you see around here. We've got who's running all the background computer stuff. We got Idana, or low-level adventure. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll go do our introductions. Who you are, who you
Oh no,
play.
you called out me first. I'm I'm the low level adventure. I'm playing Adana, the gnome ranger, and I'll be running some of the stream stuff behind the scenes or in front of the scenes, I guess in this case.
Nice. Who do you want to go next?
Oh, let's just go across. And how about Rinksy? Go ahead.
I am Rinksy. I am playing Chandelar Moonleaf, a half-elf wizard. And I am not doing anything else because I'm not that talented.
Okay. Who's next?
I'll go next. I'm Geek Girl Alyssa. I am playing Semyaza Chaos. Semyaza is a blue variant tiefling rogue, which is fun and chaotic.
Right. All right. Let's go with Marius.
How's it going? I'm Marius. I'm a half-orc blood hunter, and I am TTV Wacky Man on anything you can push a button on.
Okay.
I guess I'm missing. I have so many names. Duchess and Dragons on TikTok. I play Yara, also called Pale as nickname because I'm an albino drow, so I'm very white. And hopefully blend in as an elf. Yeah, and I'm the foreigner adopted by this group. So thanks, guys.
All right.
And
So
off
we have-
to Santa.
All right, so there we are. We've been introduced. Let's do a recap of last time we were all together. You're in the town of Lawrenceport. You had been there kind of trying to find some work. It wasn't really, in and out, but you heard about this ship that was due to be coming in called the Stormcrest. So you're pretty excited because a lot of people can either find work on the docks helping unload vessels, and from the goods that are unloaded, you can either find yourself on the ship for its next voyage, or maybe working in some other capacity with like the Merchants Guild or something like that. But you were asked by the captain as they came in, because they didn't bring the boat into the port, they kept it out because it was infected with something, and they had asked you and your companions to go and clear out that infestation, and you did. And you also thwarted a bit of a robbery attempt as well, which just happened to be an acquaintance to one of our party members was one of them, and the other two were known dockhands that longshoremen that tended to the unloading of vessels. Well, it turned out they weren't such good folks, and you took care of that threat as well. And in doing so, you not only rescued all the goods and stuff that the ship brought back, but you also found yourself in favor with Captain Payne, the captain of the Stormcrest, who has asked you if you would all be interested in joining the crew on its next voyage. But she has given you some time to think this through. And the last thing that kind of like popped up from it, you got paid for doing your services, but you also found were given a companion, a little creature, a floof, if you will. And Chandelar was really excited about that, and they even gave up their portion of the goods that you all earned to basically adopt this creature that looks like a giant version of what's that creature called?
Fizzgig.
What?
Fizzgig. Fizzgig. Fizzgig.
I kind of also imagine the thing from Horton Hears a Who. Like the little buddy that has the imaginary place that, where in my place, they eat rainbows and poop butterflies.
Yeah, very similar. I can totally see that. And you've already found out too that as you decided you're going to take your time to make this decision, and you went and celebrated your success, got some food, maybe a night, upgraded your room for the night, based on what you've been sleeping in over the last couple of weeks. But you notice that the floof doesn't eat at all. Whenever you attempt to feed it, it shows no interest in any kind of sustenance. No water, no anything. It just exists, it seems. But it's happy, very excited to be what it is.
The void in its belly, is what it subsists on, I think.
It exists on space.
Space! Wait. Space!
And so after, so we'll just get into the next, it's the next day. You all have enjoyed your meal and drink in the evening before you find yourselves awakened to a brand new day, and you hear the sounds of the longshoremen beginning their task as the Stormcrest was brought into the docks, and now they are unloading the vessel. And you find yourselves out on the docks, kind of seeing what's going on. What do y'all want to do?
If there's no takers, Marius will head down to the docks
Okay.
and just kind of like look at everybody. So, everyone that passes by, he'll just quietly be like, the low-level adventurers saved the day as he walks by.
They recognize that you had a good night last night. They can kind of smell the sweet aroma of whatever rum spice that you partook in the evening before, as you are journeying down towards the dock and towards the ship. I mean, you see that they've got these like makeshift arm cranes that go over and they hit it with the bags. They're not so mechanical as they are more levers and men holding ropes to pull up and pull down. And they're bringing a lot of the things that you all saw into the hold from the hold of the ship up to the main deck, and then wrapping it and pulling off the cargo. And then there's like a small line of individuals bringing smaller containers and packages down off the vessel. The captain notices you kind of semi-stumbling there, Marius, and walks up and says, "Oh, she asked, I see you had a good evening last night. Enjoyed the spoils of your success, I see."
Evening, morning, it's all the same. If you don't go to bed, it just keeps on going, right?
Stop adding me like that.
She nods her head in agreement. She looks at the rest of you, wherever you might be on the pier, and kind of like waves to you. Come here. Let's continue our discussion on whether or not you would have any interest in joining the crew. I'd like to hear everybody's thoughts on that. And I have contracts written up as I do. So if anybody's interested in signing them today, you're more than welcome. So he looks right at Donna, knowing that you obviously have sea legs. What say you, my petite friend?
Would I know if this is like a standard contract for a ship?
Yeah, it's relatively standard. Her whole thing though, where she doesn't, her thing that's different than any other contract you've seen, it is for 1 year, and if you die, everything goes out. But the fact that it is super binding, magically binding, is a little off, or a little different than what you're used to. It's mainly just like you'll receive an appropriate portion of any sold goods based on your position within the ship, ranking structure, all the standard lingo that one would get where after you've signed your mark to it. But you do see it's a little different. That why do we have to sign for a full year under magical bonding context?
Well, I'm excited to get out there, but I'd like to discuss this contract with Chandelar because it's a little unusual in its binding nature.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, she says. She understands that there's maybe some apprehension. What about you, Pale and Semyaza?
Yeah, I would like to talk to our wizard.
Okay.
Semyaza's just kind of looking at the contract like, I don't like contracts. She takes her dagger and kind of like pokes at it.
All right.
In the meantime, could I talk to Idana real quick?
Sure thing.
Hey, honey, I know your bow broke last time. Do you want me to fix it?
I'd really appreciate that.
Okay, I'll take it, cast mending, and fix the bow.
Just like magic.
Yeah, it is magic. You're
Nice.
welcome.
So, Shendalar, the captain looks at you and sees you have the fluff kind of like in your arms. I mean, it's no bigger than like a guinea pig, really. It's super tiny. It's a very tiny little fluff
Okay.
right now. And she's like, well, I'll give you a copy of the contract so that you can, review it and to alleviate the concerns of your companions. We will not be departing for at least 2 weeks anyways. I have to find new clients for things that when we go out to find things, and also make sure that all the goods that we have brought in are properly distributed to the different merchant guild members and sent out on their way to the inland cities and villages. So we have time. I just was hoping that, I could already start letting everybody know that the low-level adventurers has signed onto the crew, which might encourage others to come and join as well. So not that the whole idea that there's a great reward in going out and coming back on this vessel, but
Once we make a decision, we will let you know as quickly as possible so you can start telling others.
I appreciate that.
But why aren't we saying yes?
Hey,
Because not all of us are saying yes yet. Therefore, we cannot all say yes.
Marius, have you done stuff like that? Did you have contracts like a year before? I haven't,
Not really.
so I have no idea if that's a good thing.
I'm just super excited that you guys want me to look at your legal paperwork because that means that we're friends.
You're the
This is
accountant.
legally binding.
Accountant.
I thought this was just magically binding.
So after you're given the contract, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to go back? You do have coin in your pocket, and sometimes that's a hot thing to spend, right?
Mm-hmm. Is there stuff we can buy? Or should we have a look first and say if we want to
I
do
would
this?
like one fancy hat, please.
Yeah, please.
The fanciest of hats, monsieur.
No, not the fanciest. A simple fancy. The kind that's got like a tilt to it.
Oh no, that is pretty fancy. I'm sure Sticky Finger Stan can hook you up at Stan's goods and things.
Sounds
Sticky
perfect.
finger stamp.
It is.
I would say take the rope with you. See whose fingers are stickier.
Yeah. So you can definitely go there. Shindalar, where are you going to go with the contracts or the contract to review it to maybe get better insight on it?
Is there like a wizarding guild or like a place where I could speak with people a little bit more experienced than I? Because I don't want to let my friends down.
So there isn't so much a wizarding guild as there is a town sage who kind of manages what he thinks is a library, which you think is cute.
Fair.
And they might have some insight, but you're not really sure. They are around books more than you, but that doesn't mean they have any more insight than you may have. But that might be the best spot.
Okay, then I will head there. And I'm going to put my little friend in my backpack
Perfect.
so his head can stick out the back.
That sounds perfect. Marius, Semyaza, and Pale and Idana, what are your guys' thoughts? What do you like to do? Did you want to go to Sticky Stands?
That doesn't
I do.
sound...
Sure.
Well, I'll join, but...
I'll go
that's-
too.
I will say this: as you're traveling towards where Sticky Stands store stuff and things, I need Semyaza to go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
I just wanted to say I want to keep an eye on my pockets.
Let's see. You said perception?
Yes, please.
Okay. It's a 13.
Okay. As you're walking through the village, the town, and you come to, you're going to like the marketplace area. You're always like head on a swivel, looking around, seeing what might be easy pickings or who might be making some easy pickings. And you happen to notice standing next to a couple carts that are being loaded are two individuals that are recognizable to you that maybe they hung out with Silk a little bit. And they don't say nothing to you in a verbal sense, but you recognize them as soon as you kind of lock eyes with them. They hit you with a little thieves' cant.
Okay.
And they say they need to see you this afternoon, preferably before the sun goes down here in the market.
Okay.
They got some things they would like to discuss with you. So. All right.
What are you spelling out?
Sus.
It is sus. I do not like this. I turn to Pale and in Infernal ask her to come with me to that.
Sure thing.
Well, first off, Pale, you'd first say to what? I'm sure.
Yeah, like
We know each other for so long. I see in her eyes.
Right.
She needs me. I'll be there.
Pale.
Yeah, honey.
We're gonna.
Oh, we have a
to
date.
deal with-
Awesome.
We've got a date. We've
All right.
got a date.
Is it
There's
like a
these
cold
two
suit?
handsome gentlemen just asking to see me.
You alone. Does he need two? How much do we make?
We'll negotiate the price later.
All right.
So could you also roll an insight check based on how they were throwing that thieves' cant at you?
Okay. Oh, that's a nat 20.
Okay, so you know that normally when someone is going to incorporate thieves' cant into their conversation or directly at you, it's got a lot softer gesturing, maybe a little like almost like saying sus, but very smooth. And these are very sharp.
Jagged.
Yes.
They're not happy with me.
Almost threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're, and you can tell that they're not just eyeing you, but they're eyeing and giving that general size up of your companions. So
I tell my companions in a gentle way, like, just softly what's going on.
okay. All right. So you've all got intel, except for Chandelar, well, no, you're probably walking with them because it's kind of in the same general direction, going towards the Sage's small little bookstore library place. Okay. So
Did we
So you're not
Okay.
saying anything to him, you're just going to ignore him.
I turn to the guys and I do some thieves' cant back. Be like, oh, I'll meet you guys later after we go shopping.
Okay. One of them, the one that didn't like hit you directly with the thieves' cant, gives you again, your insight was so good that you read this.
I read between the lines.
Yeah, and it's like, don't go spend it all in one place.
I think I might need to bring my dagger and show them what I did to Silk.
And they kind of like push themselves off the cart, as roostered up as they might be, thinking.
As they walk away, Marius is just going to look over and go,
Okay. They do something,
Ta-ta.
some sort of hand gesture at you that you don't recognize, but something else that basically recognizes it as.
A giant fuck you.
Was that all in Thieves' Camp?
It was all.
Yeah, it was all in
Okay.
Thieves' Camp.
Why are you guys so passionate about soup?
I mean, I've been asking that question myself.
Well, soup is rather tasty, but that was not about soup, honey. It was not about soup at all.
The ocean is a soup.
Ocean is a soup. Ocean is a soup.
Wow. I will say this, another thing that you all see as you're walking through the marketplace is the town is absolutely in a buzz of excitement because of all the money that's coming in because of the goods coming off the Stormcrest, the chatter of like some of the stuff that's being loaded up on some of the cargo wagons that the merchant trains are going to be taking out. So, the spices that you saw on the boat, they're like, some of the merchants are like with their abacuses out there, like trying to tally up as it's being loaded onto the wagons, how much their potential profit margins are going to be. And you can tell that they're all very happy and pleased. But again, Semyaza, as you guys are again walking through, it's not just those two that you see. You see others that are walking about in the market area that have a very similar look. Some are kind of familiar. Some you've seen help on the docks, but it's almost as if they're casing the entirety of the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
So, but eventually, Chandelar breaks away from the party as you walk past the Sage's bookstore, which we're gonna call that the Celestial Pages is what he calls this little store, but he really fancies it more of a library because he doesn't really sell any books. He more rents them out for like a copper a week, and then he hopes that they are returned because he views books to be very heavenly. And you go ahead and you walk, the bell rings, and you enter there. I'm going to come back to you because yours is going to be a little interesting when we get to it. We're going to go let them shop real quick.
Oh, no.
So you after a couple buildings down, you get the stands, stuff and things, and again, open the door. Out on the outside, you can see he's got sausages hanging in the window. And right next to a sausage might be like the armor of an arm or some full plate hanging right next to a line of sausages. It's like a menagerie of insanity for anybody that would want to go into a store that should be organized, but it looks like he's got stuff stacked up that don't go together, and he's got barrels of food in one thing, and then he's got barrels of nails that the blacksmiths have made or that he's salvaged from old buildings or whatever in another bucket right next to each other, and then he's got some water or some wine casks over top of that, and it looks like they're dripping a little bit into the nails, so rusting them out. It's just the worst place ever. But he is known for having almost anything one might need in a basic sundries sort of way. So when you walk in, you hear he hears the bell ring as the door opens, and you hear him, and he shouts out, "Be right with you! Be right with you! Hold on just a second, I got to move this thing." And you hear him grunting in the back a little bit, not in the back of the store, but just beyond where you are.
You need any help?
He kind of, you hear a pause as he kind of like, oof, and he sets something down. And he goes, "Marius?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could use a little bit of what you got, son. Come on back."
I head on back.
And as you kind of like just go around the corner of one of the aisles, you see he's got this big barrel, and it looks like it and smells very briny, and it has these little fish that are soaked in this brine, and you recognize it as a very foul snack that a lot of the longshoremen eat.
Oh, sardines!
Yeah. Oh. He's like, yeah. Just help me move this over there, closer to the apples.
Got you. And I'll just...
You guys easily move that. What? Idana and Pale and Samyaza, what is your intent and purposes?
Semyaza is. Let me look at how many. Like what? Words. Okay, my currency. Let's see. Semyaza is gonna look for better armor.
Okay. And you're currently wearing what, leather? Just basic leather?
Yeah, just basic leather right now.
Okay. All right. Pale?
Healing potions are expensive, right?
They are very expensive.
Would there be any magical items that are affordable?
Well, you know, in the couple of weeks that you all have been here, that it is possible that he may have a trinket or two that might have some minor ensorcelments on them, as he likes to call it. But you almost have to ask. He doesn't have those laying about. And when you two are like kind of like perusing around looking for things and come around the corner after he's watched Marius eat a couple handfuls of the sardines, like instinctively, and Idana, he goes, "Oh, I didn't realize you came with the whole group. Wait, you're missing one. Where is she?"
Doing stuff and things for us.
Oh,
Big business, you know.
Okay. He's like, he kind of looks at, he goes, I heard that you all were able to clear off the Stormcrest, and because of that, I was able to get, and he points over to a little like stack of boxes, and like there's some like rolled up like boiled leather scroll cases that are bound, and some other little small sacks on this, like just a stack of boxes that you all recognize were on the vessel.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I was so happy to get this. This is really going to help, keep me afloat. And you all also know that he doesn't need help keeping afloat. He does okay. He goes, I heard that you fell down. Rumor has it, it's spreading all over the town that you fell off the freaking mast. Is that true? Are you okay?
I just had a little mishap, but I'm fine.
I mean, you look great.
I have a out of character question.
Mm-hmm.
Is Adana like feeling the effects of the stitch still?
Oh, that's a good
to
point.
any degree?
I would say there's still a slight euphoria, but you're not going to have any of the illusions and that you would have from that.
So I'm not
I
seeing
remember
things.
it was slightly, just a little hallucinogenic.
I mean, you have almost like a slight glow about you, like you slept very well, maybe even had some of those
I'm so
hallucinations.
relaxed right now.
But
Just loving life.
you find it very funny that every time you've been to see Stan, be it for some rope or for one of the people you're helping do some work for, he's always been super kind to you. Like he's asking you, are you drinking enough water? Are you eating enough? We're really hoping that whatever's going on with you is gonna fix itself. And for everybody else there, you kind of notice that he doesn't really do that with you all. Let's go, Marius, Semyaza, and Pale. Please roll. Let's go with insight again. Yeah.
That's another nat 20!
Okay.
Can I borrow your dice?
I'm using
What did you
digital.
get, Pale?
Good cotton candy dice. Good juju cotton candy dice.
What did you get, Marius?
No.
Okay. So Pale and Marius, you just think it's, he's just nice and kind and just kind of, it's just a funny way that he interacts with Adana. Semyaza, you know exactly what's going on. Stan doesn't realize that Adana is, hold on, I want to make sure I am right, is a gnome. He thinks that he's a stunted growth child who needs to eat more, drink more, exercise, get stronger, and maybe we'll grow to an appropriate height. You think it might have something to do with the fact that Stan is known for taking some of the stitch glue and not using it for what it's meant to be used for, and so he's kind of like, yeah, man, it's cool, but son, you gotta eat a little bit more, and he's always giving him candy. It's like, why is he always giving him like the sweet candy stuff? It's like, it's such a weird thing, but he adores this child that walks through his doors on the regular. And
The
it's like,
Gaz is just over there, like, giggling, trying to, like, hold it in and not snort. She's
Yeah,
just like...
he's oblivious to your acknowledgement of that situation. He's just like, you guys are all just seem really happy. I'm a little sad that the bookworm didn't come with you, because they always have something fun to say. I learn something new every time they come with you. But I do have something I need some help with. I see you're all looking for something. I actually am in dire need of some assistance, because I got this contract to acquire some things for the captain, and I wasn't able to get that because I couldn't find it. It's some of the other scouts that usually go out into the local surrounding area to find these different, and it's like giant wasp wings and some bone meal and some weird. It's a bunch of ingredients that the captain needs.
How can we help?
Who the
Well,
fuck
he
wants
is
giant wasp wings?
I know they're not really in season because of the weather, but they're
It's
asking.
season for giant bees?
All wasp wings are giant to me.
Well, of course they are. And he kind of pats you on the head and hands it. He's like, "Can you read this? Okay?" I mean, and he hands it to the list of things to you, and then looks at Pale and Semyaza and it's like, as Marius is continuing to oddly scoop some sardines into his mouth, and it is sometimes you don't want to like kiss anybody that's had onions, right? That's kind of a thing, I guess. But Marius, nobody's going to want to kiss you for weeks because that briny stuff lingers. It's very similar to lutefisk in Sweden, which is really, really an interesting thing. But yeah, so that's what you're eating. But it's definitely a treat to the sailors. So what is it that Semyaza and Pale were looking for again? And he's just like, you got it. He's like, I think I might be able to help you out. I've always got something.
Studded leather armor, I think, is the next step up, I believe.
Oh, studded leather armor, absolutely. He kind of steps back a little bit. He kind of like does this thing where he takes his hands and he's like measuring off of Adana, and it's like, okay, so that's that, and then you're this, and so I need to get, okay, yeah, hold it. I think I've got something for you, absolutely. How about you, Pale? What can I get for you? What are you looking for today?
We can't hear you. It's
no.
not a stream without tech issues.
Oh yeah.
Never. Nope.
No.
No.
And you're not showing as muted either. That's.
Yeah.
Da, da.
Are you using your computer's mic or the headphones mic? Ah, okay. Go into the mic settings in Zoom and double check to make sure that it didn't change for some reason.
While you're doing that, we're gonna cut scene and go to the Celestials books with Chandelar. As soon as you walk in, you can you hear the pitter of the sage's feet, kind of zipping around in the background. And he's like, "Just a second, I'll be right with you. Just a second." And You hear a couple things,
Sure.
like, and then you come back and he zips around and he's standing there in front of you and he's got like a longish beard. It's kind of tapered into a point, and he's got like a floppy little hat on, and he's an older human, and he's probably around 5'2", very thin, and has like some glasses on, and he's like, Shand, welcome. How can I help you? Did you need more books?
Well, yes, always, but currently I'm wanting your advice on contract magics.
Contract magics, like binding contract magics.
Yes,
Hmm.
and they're. I don't know if you're aware if there's any places where contract magics are more common than other places.
Well, he kind of pauses for a second. You can see he kind of looks off into the middle distance and just kind of like, he's kind of like calculating the thought. He's like, well, most contracts that I'm aware of are just very mundane, but most binding magics are usually between creatures of higher power. Could that be the case here?
Well, unless a ship is alive, because it's binding to a ship.
A ship. You're here because of the Stormcrest.
Yes.
That makes sense. Can we take a look?
Sure. The ship's in the harbor, though.
No, the contract.
Oh,
Do you have a
contract. I apologize. Yes.
Okay. So he takes it from you gently, and he kind of snaps his fingers, and a small table kind of like comes skittering out around the corner and pops open, and he lays it out, and he takes a magnifying glass, like a circular, not like with a handle, it was a circular piece, and he puts it up to his eye, and he starts looking over the contract, and he's like, that's okay, very, very interesting, very standard, very, okay, I see. He goes, I see what you're worried about. Okay, all right, and he looks back for a second and thinking about what he is discerning from it. He goes, what did you learn from it so far?
I haven't really looked at this one. I looked at the last one and knew what magics that they had, but I honestly haven't really read over this one unless it's the same one.
Okay, so he gives you the eyepiece. Says, look at the fine print, if you will.
All right.
Okay, as you look at it, it kind of changes from common to another language. What languages do you currently speak and read?
Common, Draconic, Elvish, and Infernal.
It changes to Draconic. And it's really, as you're reading it in Draconic, like the commonality of it is just like that you bind yourself to the Stormcrest and the crew for up to a year. But in Draconic, it basically says it's like a non-disclosure agreement. Anything you see, learn, or are told whilst upon the Stormcrest decks are kept a secret, and anything you say that you shouldn't will immediately end your contract and send you home, wherever home may be.
Okay. Is there anything in there about consequences for breaking the contract early?
That's just it. If you break the contract, oh, I'm sorry. If in regards to if you decide, well, I'm not going to stay for a year, I'm going to go do my own thing. It just says in Draconic that whole thing of like, if you fail to live up to the contract as signed, you will be sent home immediately. And you can tell that there is some sort of like conjuration magic attached to that. That when they say send home, it might be an instantaneous like teleportation to wherever home may be for you.
Now this all really boils down to what's the interpretation of home. Like, if you're a human, do you spawn at the foundation of where all humankind manifested?
Yes, for you this would be quite the conundrum. And He takes back the eyeglass. He's like, and he kind of explains that to you a little bit more. It's like it is a draconic contract. It is,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay. I guess thank you.
Absolutely. Again, do you need any books? I just got in a couple on the flora and fauna of the lands of Neck.
Yes.
Okay, so
But
he
I
goes,
have no money right now.
don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I'm really just excited for what you did. I wouldn't even get this book and the others that the Stormcrest wasn't able to come in, and your companions were very kind to help the captain in cleaning the ship. So take this as a gift, and when and if you should return, if you decide to sign said contract, and if you're done with the book, I would love to have it back.
Of course.
Perfect. And he kind of like snaps his fingers again, and the table kind of folds up and kind of like walks back into the back area.
Someday I want to learn that spell.
Is Pale? Do we have audio? We do not. I guess we're gonna have to go with Thieves' Camp for you. I'm gonna open up. I see that you're talking about you want a hand crossbow. Is that correct? Who wants a hand crossbow?
Oh, that was me. We were talking about crossbows.
Oh, okay. All right. So the back at Sticky Stan's stuff and things. He's able to find you the leather armor the studded leather that you're looking for, Semyaza. And the cost on that is going to be 5 gold. He's just like, I know normally again it would be way more expensive, but I really do appreciate everything you guys have done. I go and he's like, I'm going to make it hand over fist on some of the other stuff I've got. And in conversation with Pale, I'm guessing Pale has a want or need for some form of magical items or trinkets, right? So he's like, I only was able to acquire just a few things, and they're going to be, and I apologize, the heroes of the day, as you are, even you, little Adana, we're really excited for everything that you're trying to do. You're such a, you're just an inspiration. I wish more little ones would be, as industrious as you are. And he goes over to the stack of stuff that he got off the Stormcrest, and he brings it over to his counter, and he opens up one of the bags and just kind of like takes a string off of it, and it kind of folds open, and inside it is 2 little vials, almost like test tube vials, and then one is a ring, and the ring is got kind of like a platinum band with a pearl and its inset, and he goes, the vials, I mean, those are going to be, just so you know, they're both how do I explain this? One will make you swift as the wind, and the other will make you the wind. But the ring is going to be, I don't know, I've actually already got a buyer for it, and they're willing to spend about 5,000 gold pieces on it. So that might be a little out, but for the two vials, they would be like 100 gold for those. Not each, just in general, 100 gold. You get both. Quick as the wind in the wind.
I'll take them.
Well, you're sitting listening. You don't even see him because the scanner is way above your head.
Oh, okay.
So it's Pale is the one that is being addressed in this particular transaction. No? All right. Do we want to
I could switch screens real quick, and then maybe if Pale joins and rejoins.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is maybe we need to do that.
One moment.
And for everybody watching, we do appreciate you hanging out and hanging in there and having a good time tonight. I haven't been looking at the chat, so I'll do that real quick while we make these minor adjustments. If anybody has anybody seen any fun questions? Or it looks like Wacky Man is talking more in the chat than he is with us. No. Might you be interested in joining the Stormcrest crew? Okay. Just Richard, how you doing? What else we got in here? Hey, Big Daddy Grimm is hanging out. Daniel, is that Daniel Von Black? That's a Radio Free Will. Is he still with us?
Oh, is Radio in
Yeah,
here?
Radio was here.
Yeah, Radio is here.
He is. Hello, Radio. I know he applied to be a guest already.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
It looks like he also dropped 100 bits into the.
Oh, thank you for the biddies.
Radio Free Will, you make me nervous.
And I saw Santa giving the bits earlier to give GM advantage against Pale.
What? Who would do that?
That's cheating. That's
I don't
cheating.
think that's the case.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
We use this
we
mic.
can indeed.
Buy fancy mic.
The worst case scenario.
Yep.
All right. So we're good to go. So what does Pale want to do after being presented with these trinkets?
Well, they're not really interesting to me, but I know my friend over here might be interested. So, hey, Idana, I
Hey.
think that might be something for you. Plus, I don't have money, so you want to look at them?
Ooh. Ooh.
So-
What is it?
Well, Stan grabs a little crate and sets it next to the counter so you can step up, and he kind of gives you a little bit of a hand up so that you can see what's there in it. It's as described, 2 little like test tube vials, both, and he redescribes them as one will make you swift as the wind, and the other one will make you the wind.
Sounds like a fart, but
How much for him?
It'll be a 100 gold. You know what?
For me?
Oh, don't. Okay, so go ahead and roll a little bit of a. Just roll your charisma.
guidance. I'll touch her shoulder. You can do this, honey.
Yeah. The dice
the
aren't
rise
cursed
down.
yet. 18 8, but a -1, so 17.
Okay.
That's a D4.
Plus a D4.
Oh.
From guidance. Pale's giving you a little, like your eyes
Oh.
go a
And
little
I'll
bit.
push
so-
her up.
19 then.
Okay. 19. Oh, he kind of looks at you and is like, you know what? For you, these might help you, in all the things that you need help with. You're a very special child. Person. I should not. I apologize. So 75 gold will get you both of them.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
All right. You guys exchange.
Say
hands.
65 because you called her a child.
Whoa.
By the way, I'd also maybe like a hand crossbow.
A hand
Yeah.
cross. Interesting. When he kind of like hands the vials to you, Adana, and kind of goes, a hand crossbow. Then he looks around and is like, those aren't like authorized in town, right?
I didn't say I was going to use it in town, now did I?
I also noticed that you didn't say you didn't have one.
I did not say I didn't have. That's correct. And you also just said you don't plan on using it in town, so we're good. And he kind of looks around. And you haven't heard the bell ring on the door since you've been here, so he seems pretty confident. He walks into the back and he comes back out with a small little a case like you would see in any Western movie that when it opens up, there's a really nice Remington or handgun in it. But this is a beautiful little hand crossbow, and he looks around because here's another thing. He doesn't realize that Pale is a albino
Yes.
drow.
Mm-hmm.
He does not realize that you are. He goes, I I acquired this from an adventuring party that found themselves entangled in a conflict with some of the underworld elves, and this was their prize, and nobody wanted to use it in their party because, they didn't want to maybe come across as associated with them. But it is really nice, and it comes with these 3 bolts. I mean, they can shoot any hand crossbow sized bolt, but these 3 bolts, and you see them in there, and they're really nice, like full on silver bolts. So he goes, as long as you don't use this in town and you don't tell anybody you got it from me, I'm willing to sell it.
Mum's the word.
He kind of looks at you, and you can kind of see that the drugs that he's associated with the stitch glue kind of fade away, and he has a little bit more of a clearer sense of your intentions. Like, okay, I believe you. And he kind of just pushes it across. He goes, I don't need payment now, but I will need payment in the future. In that, maybe if you ever come across something I might need.
Like wasp wings?
Like what?
Wasp wings?
Wings.
Well, wasp wings. I mean, that's totally different. We haven't even discussed that job. Chandala, were you intending, after getting the information on the book, going to if your companions hadn't returned, going to meet up with them?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you are being pushed the case, the bell rings at the door, and he like steps away, kind of brushes his hands off, because he doesn't want to be caught with his hands on such a thing. He's like, just a second, I'll be right with you.
Okay, no rush. I have a book. I can occupy my time.
Hearing your voice, he thinks he recognizes it, but he doesn't say anything because he's kind of startled at everything going on. So now he kind of looks around real quick. All right, so back to the list that I gave to Adana. The captain needs it in like 3 days because for whatever reason, that's kind of like the time limit she's given me to find these if they're even able to be found. But if you guys could help out with that, that'd be great. That'd be just perfect.
Can we look at the list?
Yeah, Adana currently is holding the list.
Here you go.
Can't read this, don't know what's on there.
It's in common. You can read it better than.
Yeah, I know. Just tell me what's on there. What do we have to get?
So on it is giant wasp wings, hard bone meal, and the stinger from a ghost hornet.
Ghost hornet, okay.
Yeah.
I'll throw it over to Sam. Sam, look at that stuff.
Now,
What do you think? I don't like ghost hornets.
I think some of these are, as he said earlier, out of season.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it is colder than a witch's tit right now. But now, here's a question. Do you happen to know where the hives for these things normally are?
He goes, well, it's interesting. They're usually like up in the northeastern part of, away from, if you go out of town, he's like, if you go out of town, you go about 2 miles up, there's gonna be the big red oak. Everybody's seen the big red oak. It's part of the road out of town kind of goes right by it. But you're gonna make a left at the big red oak, and you're gonna go another 5 miles up into the foothills, and there's some small caves and some small, there's woods and stuff in that area, and that's usually where they would go to find these things. But they haven't been able, and I haven't seen Silk at all today, so I don't even know because he's usually the one that would go find these things for me. So, but yeah, him and his friends, I haven't seen them, so and, that's why I'm asking you.
Okay.
You need better business associates.
Yeah.
Uh,
Zerg's out of town.
Semyaza
Permanently.
turns to
I
Chandelar
thought
and
he's
goes,
dead.
"Do you happen to know any more about these particular buggers?"
I just got a book.
Just got a book.
I just got a book, and I believe is by the scholar Thessalonius Thistlewhistle, so it should be a very good book.
Now, does the book happen to have anything about these guys?
It's a book on nature, so I'd hope so.
Evan, you're excited
DM.
about books.
DM, does
I'm
the
gonna
book have
step
information
outside.
on these things?
That's a great question. It is a book on the flora and fauna of the local areas, as written down by the scholar that you named off, which was an amazing name. And as you look in its table of contents, yes, there is a chapter on indigenous insects, both ground and flying, within its pages.
Yes, I found things on like wraith butterflies and murder hornets, but I don't think those exist. And
Nice semi-Princess Bride reference.
Nice.
and ghost hornets, I don't know what those are either.
But
Giant
as
wasps.
you see, your fingers literally land on ghost hornet. It is in the book.
Ghost hornet, right?
Right.
That's
Now, are the ghost hornets and the giant hornets different species, or can we get the giant hornet wings from the ghost hornets?
So the list says giant wasp wings.
Wasp wings. Okay.
All right.
Any normal-sized insect, there is always the potential for a mutated offspring in any hive that could grow to be a giant version of that creature, as noted in the book. So a wasp hive may spawn a giant wasp, like 1 in 1,000 births. But the ghost hornets are a little different, and as you kind of peruse what they are, they appear to be hornets, a little larger, almost the size of a German Shepherd.
A little larger.
Right? Yeah. I mean, size is a thing.
Sure.
But the thing.
I think your definition of little and my definition of little vary just a bit.
I mean, maybe. They are pale white. Entire, and sometimes because of the weather, they are hard to see, but they are not so much out of season as they are just hard to find in the cold and in the snow, because they actually thrive in that environment. They kind of over the last 1,000 years or so, because of the ice age of the northern hemisphere, they've kind of evolved and adapted to the environment.
So, question. Bacon seems to work with gremlins and other things. Do hornets like bacon?
You find nothing on that information, Chandelier.
Specifically bacon, I'm not finding any information.
Is there anything else what they like for bait? I mean, we need something.
Well, I mean, I understand why it's not giant wasp season. It's not breeding season for wasps. That would make sense why there's a specific season for them.
Yeah.
Spiders? Do they eat spiders? I think they.
Sugar might be something like sweet, right? Bees
Let's
like
go sweet
flowers. Flowers are sweet.
That's what I thought.
Bees.
Roll an intelligence check for me, Chandelier, as you're kind of perusing through it. You're just kind of skimming over the informations.
Okay. Uh, 21.
Okay, so as you're kind of reviewing over what ghost hornets are more apt to feed off of, they actually like um, the rotted flesh of horse, and sometimes can be found inside their hives can be found inside these carcasses.
Well, we could ask if any horses have passed recently.
Oh, he might sell horse meat.
Well, no. Horse meat indicates it's of somewhat food quality. We need something that's far surpassed.
This is not a good place. He might have bad food.
Can I ask one thing? What's the pay before I go and handle rotting horse meat?
Well, the pay, if you are able to fulfill this order for me, would be 25% of what the captain is going to give me.
I don't do percent.
He takes a stack of coins and he's just like, about that much?
Hey, Chandler.
Like 75 gold pieces about. That's not each, that's just 75 gold pieces.
To collect big wasps and handle horse meat. Is that right? Does that sound fair? Look to everybody else because he doesn't understand. Like, I don't.
Unfortunately, that seemed like it'd be the going rate. People pay more for more skilled labor, and handling horse carcasses isn't necessarily a skilled job.
Right, it's disgusting though, and I feel like it's not hazard pay anywhere around here. No.
You know that you haven't made 75 gold pieces the entire time outside of working on the Stormcrest event in the town since you've been here. So that's a pretty good.
I just don't want to do it.
You want to hang out some horse flesh?
What's
Guys,
his name?
we might need to do this if we're going to sign up for the Stormcrest
Oh, right,
anyways.
right. Yes, and yep, you wrote.
What's his name? The merchant?
Dan.
How's it? Dan. So, Dan, do you have horse meat?
I mean, I have some horses.
No. Not horses. Dead horses.
Technically, horses are made of horse meat. Just saying.
Technically, yes. I don't want to kill a horse. You know, sometimes the expiration date's just a bit off, something like that. Some old meat somewhere. Horse would be preferred.
I do not sell such meat in my store.
Maybe you have it. Lunch, dinner from a week ago.
He's like, I apologize, I don't, but I do have a horse that's been lame.
No, I'm good. We'll find it.
Is there some sort of check I could do with my nature ranger background to like know if we really need the horse horse carcass?
Sure.
Oh boy, I don't like that smile. All right. 13 plus what do I get to use a modifier for that?
Because Chandelar has the book, between the two of you, you can roll another d4. She's going to give you kind of like an not advantage, but some inspiration, because as you're kind of like rattling off some thoughts and information, Chandelar can verify it or add to it. That's the book.
Ooh. So 13 plus 4 is 17.
All right. So between the two of you, you put your heads together and you're just like, well, yeah, they tend to like breed and put their nests inside the carcasses, but they tend to attack the horses. They don't have to be dead. They just have to be. There has to be a horse nearby.
So what you're saying is
We take the friend horse.
the horse
Let's borrow our horse.
you're willing to sacrifice for this, the one that's a little
For
lame.
science.
We should just take it and use it as kind of like a pack mule for
Not
now.
if it's lame.
I hate this.
That's mean.
You don't put a lot on it.
You don't put anything on
It's
it.
gonna
It's
have
a
to-
lame horse.
Well,
It'll be fine.
if we kill it before it kills the horse could come back. You know, just saying.
Give it a little slap on the ass as it runs up.
Yeah, I like that plan.
It's
Everybody
not
roll a wisdom check.
I don't think it's gonna run, you guys.
This is everybody.
That was
That's
Nat
a
20
9.
plus 2.
All right.
That's a 9.
16.
Nine. Did anybody get a 14 or higher? Raise your hand. All right. If you got a 14 or higher, and this is good for you, Pale and Idana, you're almost now questioning what is Stan's thought on what constitutes a lame horse.
Hey, Ranger,
Yeah.
what do you think? Does he want to get rid of his horse?
Yeah, he might just be looking to dump it off on us.
Like payment, here, have a lame horse?
Yeah, it might be a little bit more of a burden for him. You know, losing some gold on it.
You know, I have an idea. I could heal it.
I like your thinking. Then we could have the horse. Maybe he
And we
throws
can
in
sell
the
it.
horse. Yeah.
Could be more than 75 gold.
A healthy horse would have some value to it.
If we were a level higher, I could enlarge it. We could have a giant horse.
Just have a Clydesdale-sized horse.
At that point, we just find regular sized wasps and enlarge them.
That's what I thought earlier. We just enlarge them.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah, is there a magical difference between enlarged wasps in their wings? Or, well, wait, no. Because the spell would wear off eventually, right?
True.
So yeah, like that would
Yeah,
work.
he
That would not
out
work.
of game, but he wouldn't know that for a while.
But
Hour or so?
do we want to pull a fast one though? Because ultimately it's
No.
for the captain of the ship we may be getting on.
yeah.
She might need it for something that's important.
Why don't we just go and get the wasps? There's a lot of discussion here that we could just get the horse, go out there, find the wasp near the big red tree, give it a little swap, call it good.
Okay.
Is there magical wasp spray in this universe?
It's called a sword.
We have
I don't
not-
think a sword is gonna work on itty bitty wasps because it's not guaranteed that there's gonna be a giant ass wasp in that fucking tree.
Well, then the
Flaming
horse
hands?
act and we won't be here. We're
Look,
using the horse as bait.
That's for the ghost.
Look,
Hornet, isn't it?
we handled everything on that ship. I think we could handle some wasp. I mean, at
Can
least
we just go squish some bugs and get
you
them?
guys handled it.
Quick question. You said bone meal. Any?
charred bone meal.
Oh, charred. Okay.
Against
So
the horse
technically, we
bodies.
could use
So-
the horse.
Yeah, I was gonna say, after the horse is dead, we can make bone meal out of it.
Look, the horse ain't dying. I'm giving it a smack on the rump. Calling it good.
Okay, we need to.
I'm just
prove
saying,
something.
I've heard that horse
There-
meat makes really good meatballs, actually.
7.
Ew.
There's other things in the woods, you know. We don't have to do anything to the horse.
Exactly.
Can
It
we
could be some miserable old squirrel that's gasping for air, and we could just be like, well, I guess it's the right thing to do.
Out of
ha-
game, could we all be vegetarians?
So
I'm
Meow's
just
is a tiefling. She's not gonna be a fucking vegetarian.
Look, at the end of the day, 2 bugs go splat, we get the stuffs, and then we find some woodland creature that isn't a horse, preferably that isn't cute,
What?
and
Why?
gather up its bones and shard the bone view. I don't understand why this is so
Are you
complicated.
implying
I'm
animals
supposed to
aren't
be the
there?
dumb one.
I'm concerned as to why you are so intent on the preservation of a single horse. What makes its existence more valuable than that of a squirrel or a rat.
To be completely honest, I view a horse more important than most of you. Let's go. All right?
I would like to have a conversation about this at some point. That's a very interesting perspective.
Semyaza, could you go ahead and roll a d20 for me, please?
Oh, no modifiers? Just straight D20?
Oh no.
That's a 16.
Okay. You are realizing that it's getting kind of close to that noon time. You have a meeting that you were supposed to attend, and that you were bringing a certain companion with, if not the entirety of your party.
I would say everyone.
Yeah, guys, I got that thing.
Oh yeah, right.
Right.
So we'll take the list. We'll get back to you.
Okay. He takes Adana real quick. Says, Adana, come here. I'll show you the horse real quick.
Okay.
Right. So he takes you to the stables that are on the side. They kind of around the back of the corner. He's like, "It's that one right there. It's the lamest horse I ever seen." And as go ahead and roll like an animal handling as you kind of like are surveying it.
That fucking donkey.
That 20 plus 2.
Okay. The horse looks fine. It doesn't look like it's like showing favor to any of its limbs. But as you're like surveying it and it kind of turns its head, you notice that it has a strabismus in its one eye. So instead of having, both eyes moving forward, one's kind of like, it's kind of hey-hayed a little bit, just kind of looking off into somewhere else. And he goes, "See that there? That horse, that is the lamest horse I've ever seen in my life."
I think it's beautiful.
Does it just like walk around and bump into shit on a regular basis?
It might.
Yeah, adopting the horse.
It's perfect. We're taking it.
Honestly, a strabismus in a horse probably wouldn't affect it as much because a strabismus simply stops you from being able to focusing your eyes forward, and most horses aren't focusing forward anyway. So strabismus on a horse isn't that much of a detriment because its face isn't built like a human face.
You're not wrong. And the thing is he says, "I just can't look at it." Freaks me out.
All right, we'll take it for 50 gold. You're done with it. Give us the horse. And 50
He was
gold.
just gonna give us the
Yeah,
horse.
I thought we were about to just get handed a horse.
50 gold. I want 50
Oh,
gold for him so he doesn't have to look at it.
From him.
Oh yeah,
Well, that's some
outside.
negotiating.
I'm just outside.
He's like,
Marius, you might get a horse.
that's not how that works.
I tried.
We'll take it off your hands.
All right. But you mentioned you have a meet. You someplace got a bee.
Yeah, I got a
Here in
thing.
3 days time. The captain says they need it before the end of the week, and so.
Can I do a persuasion? Sorry, I'll take it if he gives me 20 gold. Can I do like a persuasion check or something? He really wants to get rid of it before we go.
He's like, he's like, go do what you got to do, and I'll think on if I would give you 20 gold. It's like, it doesn't even cost 20 gold to feed that dang thing for a week.
It might not return. You don't have to invest anything.
I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
Let's go do the meeting.
Are you sure you're a holy person?
Well,
Holy something or other.
ask my.
We
my
make
God.
people holy.
I have trickery domain. I'm just saying.
Again, we make people holy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you gather up all the things that you purchased. I do apologize, Marius. He does ask as you're getting ready to leave. I'm sorry, Marius. Did you need anything?
I'm actually gonna pass on getting anything. There's nothing I really need.
Okay. And as you are all kind of heading out, he hands you a small little like tin, but it's,
Is it more sardines?
It is more sardines. Yes. Here, take this with you. And again, thank all of you. I thank you all for everything. It was really awesome what you did.
Oh yeah.
The infestation. What were the creatures? Oh, never mind. You gotta go. He's like, we could talk all day, and I'd probably lose more gold.
You sure will.
As you leave Stan's shop and you get back out into the common walking areas of the town and head back towards the marketplace, you do notice, Semyaza, that there is a marked decrease in certain types of individuals that tend to like walk up and down the streets throughout the day. And as you get closer and closer to the marketplace, near where the bulletin board, where the town crier might come out and give some important news, there's like a small gathering of men and women and children and all people that you Semyaza and Pale kind of recognize as individuals that might find money through ill-gotten ways. Little street urchins that will cause a distraction as something is stolen here or there, and they're all sitting there and are standing around the bulletin board and the center of the square. And the two individuals that kind of like hit you with the thieves' cant are sitting on like the steps that rise up to this platform, and they kind of the little crowd kind of opens up, and everybody go ahead and roll perception as you are kind of like yourself surveying the area.
$18.
15.
23.
23, good God. Someone's got his.
Someone's a ranger.
What do your gnome eyes see?
I don't want to tell you guys what I did with my dice between the last session.
Bunch of kneecaps.
Yeah.
I expect a TikTok about your dice cleansing ritual.
You all take note that there aren't any normal city guards in the town square, in the marketplace, as there might normally be. They are not here.
Range.
Sam's going to just like keep her hands on her hip, hiding the fact that she's like ready to grab her daggers
Okay.
at any point in time.
Okay.
And she's going to keep a respectful distance between herself and the group.
Okay.
And then she's going to be like, so you wanted to talk?
Absolutely. But you do notice that the merchant guilds are still loading. There's workers loading up the wagons and trailers and stuff, and there's some exchange of goods going on between them. And the gentleman that you addressed us, absolutely. Come a little closer. All of you.
She walks forward a little bit, but still keeps a little bit of distance between her and them.
As he's saying, yes, come closer, you do notice that he also throws some thieves' cant at you, saying, please tell your companions not to worry. They don't need to have their hands on the weapons, and your daggers should stay sheathed.
Semyaza turns to them and just kind of like does like a hand motion to tell them to kind of stand down.
Can I just go behind one of the merchant thingies and do disguise self and turn into a normal dude? Just blend in with the crowd.
Normal dude.
So what you want to do is, like, as you were coming into the town square before this interaction happened, you want to like do a sidestep, and come out like the other side as a totally different appearing individual.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
So
absolutely.
they don't see me or recognize me directly.
Okay.
So I just hide along. I'm just like pretty much the backup. I'm not part of the group right now.
Okay. So he looks right at you, Semnyaz, and he goes, "So you killed Silk last night? Is that
Well, in my defense, he was trying to kill us.
in your defense? And you also took out Joan and Yar Bonestrike.
Again, in our defense, they were trying to kill us.
Your bone strike lives.
But you took him out.
True.
He says,
He's left-handed now.
those three were some of the largest earners in town for us. And they no longer are bringing in the income that we normally would see through their deeds, actions, and such. But I will say, they did not go onto that vessel with our approval. They got a little too big for their pantaloons, if you will.
Or their britches?
I hate that word. Ugh. But yes. And because of that, we can't do what we'd like to do in regards to that loss. But we would like to say, it's so strange to be so upset and still have to say thank you. Because of what you did and what, they were going to be a cancer to our little part of the guilds here. And as you can tell by looking around, we probably have a little more power than you first perceived. And, but yes, thank you for taking out that small cancer in our group. And we do require that if you continue to do what you do in this town, you and your friend, on your own little side gigs, if you will, we will require a cut of that from here forward. And
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but seeming I'm standing right here, I'm curious, what fucking guild are you?
He looks right at you, Semyaza. Care to educate?
Marius. The Thieves Guild. Thieves Guild? Marius.
That's not a guild.
You've never been a part of a Thieves Guild, have you?
You don't call a pile of trash anything other than trash.
Woo, woo, woo. You see a couple of the kids, like legit, like 8, 9, 10-year-olds, start like reaching for like slingshots, and they're like ready to, and the guild, who you're assuming is the guild master. Oh no, kids. The beast knows not what he says. It's fine.
The himbo does not know.
What was that?
The beast knows not what he says.
Is that a reference to something?
Yes. Yes, it is, Marius.
I mean, you are a beast of labor. I've seen you haul things from here to there, or hammer a nail into some wood. Easily. It's a name worth having, if you ask me. You're good at lifting things and moving them from A to B, as any beast of burden.
As I'm hearing this, I'm going to start slowly just stepping back so I have a better vantage point of what's going on, trying to be unnoticed.
Yeah, and there's a good 15 to 20 people that are in the group around as you kind of like take stock of how many people are there.
I'm actually moving in a tiny bit, so I'm in reach.
Can we all stop trying to measure each other?
That's not how this works.
I've already said I appreciate and thank you for what you did.
Backhanded compliment ain't a compliment.
Is it not?
It's not. I just said it wasn't.
Well, maybe your learned ways are different than mine. But
Simyas is just over there like, Marius, don't insert your foot in your mouth.
he goes, I can appreciate him not, having manners and taking a compliment when one is given. I can appreciate that. He has seen a life of worth probably harder than most. But I will say this. I thank you for cutting the cancer out of our guild. I apologize, our guild. And yes, all I ask is, Miyaza, you and your friend, we know which one, the one that is walking up now as we speak. If you do continue doing any of side jobs, we just ask a portion of the take come to the guild, as is right and proper in any city.
Well, I already was paying my dues to you guys, so I can continue to do my side jobs like that.
I mean, you were paying Silk, and as I said, Silk wasn't always paying us what was our due.
Oh, I guess it's a good thing I ran him through.
That's, again, I thank you. And Marius, maybe one day you and I can have a...
Not ever. Not once in your fucking life.
No. Oh, well, that truly breaks my heart. If you honor roll insight, you can.
I don't. There's no point in me rolling insight. I mean, I just...
All right. And with that, I would like for you all to see the faces of the individuals that you may or may not encounter in your continued stay here. Just so you know, we do see you, and we are allowing you to see us. That is why we are gathered.
Semyaza does some thieves can't shit.
Okay.
And she's like, basically she goes, I see you and I appreciate your trust in us.
He replies in Thieves' Cant as he's continuing to have a very poignant conversation with Marius on the future relationship that they may or may not have, and just says, "Go safely into the day, and if rumors, as I hear, enjoy your time on the ship."
And she just does this back,
and as
just as like a thank you.
And as you have that exchange, and he kind of cuts off the conversation with Marius, and the kids are the first to kind of trickle back into the crowd, and you hear some guards coming up from the piers in the shipyard back in, and as you kind of look around, and when you look back, the majority of the guild is gone. They've kind of reintegrated themselves into the marketplace.
See, this is why I preferred mage guilds. It's a lot less pomp and circumstance.
Well, I was raised in a guild.
A lot more costume.
I'm not going to say which one, but this is par for the course for this type of guild.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Why tolerate? That's all I ask. I don't understand.
Because you live in the shadows, and this kind of thing doesn't happen often. The fact that they came out and showed us their faces is them putting trust in us, not just pomp and circumstance. That's them saying that we see you and we're here, and we will work with you in the future.
Except that they specifically said that they were doing this to show that they had the power to do this.
This was, for all intents and purposes, putting something on the table. Right?
As opposed to taking stuff off the table, you think Thieves Guild would do.
This gives us opportunities that we didn't have before.
I'll pass.
It legitimizes what we can do within the city.
Actually, it does the exact opposite of legitimize. Everything that conversation was was illegitimate.
Are we still there?
You don't understand how this guild works.
I don't plan to, nor do I give a shit about this guild. Cancer in a group, they're the cancer in this whole town. You saw that they had 10 and 9-year-olds with slingshots, right?
You do realize I used to be that 10 and 9-year-old,
I'm not
right?
justifying what you went through. I'm saying it's wrong. I'm not trying to make an excuse for what you had to grow up with. I'm trying to say that that isn't something I'll work with.
Are we still with them?
No,
they've already trickled away.
They've already trickled away.
Can I follow them?
So,
I mean, you could follow some if you'd like. You could give that a shot. But I will say this: I need Marius and Pale to both roll a. Let's go with, I don't want to say perception. It just doesn't work. It doesn't seem like it would work proper for what I want to hear. Roll a investigation.
Goodness. That would be. What did you say? Investigation?
Yes, please.
I got a 12.
23.
All right. So, as you're having this discussion, and the two of you are like, I want to follow, and you're like, I'll have nothing to do with him. I mean, your lawful goodness is literally like shining bright right now. But out of habit, you kind of put your hands in your pockets, the both of you. Just Marius, when you reach into your pocket, you pull out looks like a coin.
Pocket sand.
All right, a coin that you don't remember putting there. And on one side of it is a raised skull with like a compass point behind it, and on the other side, it looks like it's been scratched into an X. Okay.
Would Semyaza recognize?
If he decides to show you, maybe. And Pale.
Mm-hmm.
That's him showing it.
Take this shit.
She grabs it.
It's you recognize it as one get out of jail free card. That again, sure, there's a modicum of respect was given, but he only gets one chance. Is basically what this is telling you. Is like he could do something really bad and could use this as a get out of jail free. But if he were to do anything beyond that, the guild will not have any qualms taking care of that situation based on what you understand the coin to be.
So Semyaza tells him that.
I don't plan on going to jail.
So she just slyly puts it in her pocket.
And Pale, you find inside your pocket a little envelope, like a little letter that's been folded up. When you open it up, it's about a 5x7 card-ish size, and it basically is a note that says, "We know what you are, we know where you're from, and we know who you've served."
Okay. Can I follow them?
There's like 20 plus individuals. You would have to discern
the leader.
Following the leader.
I'll let you roll a survival check.
Okay.
To see if you recognize them as they melt back into the crowd, like I said. To see if you.
10.
Okay, so yeah, no. As soon as he walks into the crowd, he kind of does something like you had tried to do to avoid being seen, and just goes about and blends in. You can't keep track.
I wanted to do something really harmless, but okay. So I'll keep it to myself for now. I probably tell Sam later, but for now I'll keep it to myself.
Okay.
I'm assuming Sam probably does know that Pale is a drow, correct?
You guys know. You just
Okay.
don't know my backstory. Because obviously, sunlight. So,
Nice. All right. So what would you all like to do now for the rest of this day, or would you like to get on the road, or do you have any other things you need to like talk about?
Would you like to discuss a contract?
Yes, I think we should discuss that contract now.
which one? We have two.
Marius, are you okay?
I'm great. I'm Skippy. Grand.
Anything that I can answer for you or help with?
Oh no, I have a specific set of questions for a specific person in this group, and it will happen eventually, but not right now.
Okay. My favorite flower is lavender. I don't know. I don't do conflict well, and you seem to do conflict very well.
Okay, I'll walk over to a flower stand and ask if they have lavender.
Lavender?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. They do have some lavender. They also have some lavender oil if you'd like some of that.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Might it
Both,
be
please.
for a
Was it-
small
Cleaning armor, isn't it?
Hmm?
You put that in your armor, it makes it smell better so that you don't walk
Yeah,
around
yeah,
smelling
yeah.
like wet leather.
You totally don't have to wash for a month.
I don't think that's how that works.
That's not true,
I buy it.
Okay, how
Sounds
much?
legit.
but it helps.
Marius, is that why you haven't smelled that great recently?
No, I stepped in dog shit on the way over here.
Oh my god.
But yes, we can discuss the contract. At some point, I have a little bit of information on it. There's a really intriguing caveat to the contract.
Can I
Like the
drop the-
snail, or is that the fish eggs?
That's caviar. This is an
Which is
addendum.
fish eggs, by the way. But anyways.
Caveat. Carrot. Caviar.
Close enough, Marius.
Provisos, quid pro quos, addendums.
What did you just know for me?
Okay. Anyways, what exactly does the contract say?
Well, intriguing.
Let's not use too many big words so that Marius understands.
Well,
Okay.
intriguingly enough, it's actually draconic in nature, at least in language. Which is
Interesting.
Mhm.
Now, were you able to discern whether or not this has, like, where the draconic nature came from? Like, is it in regards to the ship doing something? Do we think the captain is maybe secretly a dragon or something?
knowing draconic or writing draconic does not entail that you yourself are draconic, as I can read and write in draconic and speak.
How does... She's a lady, she's not a dragon. It's not how it works.
Okay, where I'm from, dragons often take the form of humans. So,
Alright, now who's telling fibs?
At this point, Adana just starts going around the group, just going. "Ah!"
Right, she's telling fairy tales over here. Okay, dragons walking around like people.
To be fair, a lot of the fairy tales that we have today are because they were true at some point. Whether or not we still have the evidence to support that they are true or not is a whole other story. But yes, there are stories of dragons that can turn into humans. There are also stories of humans that can turn into dragons, and the humans can turn into half dragons. But that might just be
You're
in order.
going down a rabbit hole and I'm not following.
Can I hand her the lavender? Slow down, honey. Look, I have your favorite flower here.
I wasn't asking for lavender. I was just trying to
No,
break.
I just wanted to give you some. You can put it in the books and stuff, and it smells better. And maybe throw it at Marius. I don't know. Just here.
I'll give it to Pip.
Okay. Who's Pip? Oh, is Pip the
Yeah.
fluff?
I named the fluff Pip.
Aw, okay.
Mostly because there's a lot of expectations, but whatever. So then, essentially, the contract itself says that if we break the contract, first of all, we break the contract, it will send us home, but it doesn't specify if that's where you live or if that's your origin point. And magic is tricky. Second of all, there's like a non-disclosure, meaning that you can't talk about your experiences on the Stormcrest, which I am not a fan of because I would wish to journal the whole time we were going, you know? So I'm not sure if journaling would count. I would need to speak with her about the context of that. But yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a rogue, so I'm used to not disclosing things unless I
Plus
have
you
to.
don't have a home.
And
Thanks
NDAs
for
aren't
reminding
always
me.
enforceable.
You're welcome. I don't have a home either. And I'm not sure where they would send me to, so...
That's valid. You know, considering
Yeah.
some of my life events, I'm not quite sure whether or not it would send me back to where I was born, or
Well, potentially it could take you back to the origin of T-planes.
I don't think I want to go to the.
No.
I don't want to go to the Seven Hills. No, thank you.
No.
No, thank you.
Depending on how exactly the magic works and how you came upon your bloodline, it can also take you to the location in which your previous family member made the original deal with the infernal being to create the Tiefling bloodline.
I'm not
could
quite
also be
sure
totally
I
right.
approve of that.
Oh no, I hadn't even considered moving through temporal fields.
Can we...
how about no
can we
thank
hunt
you?
some wasps, please? My brain hurts.
I think that's
Did somebody
what
say
we should do.
hunting?
This is a hunting party now.
It's time to hunt. We hunt and hunt and hunt.
Hunt.
I agree with Pale. Let's deal with this contract when we get back.
Okay.
Let's make some gold.
Okay. Is that the plan? You're gonna go get that horse and head out?
Yeah, we're gonna get the wall-eyed horse and get the hell out of here.
The horse was your business.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Can I buy some carrot? No, it's okay. I'm just buying random shit.
Anyone got some sugar cubes in their pocket? Maybe a bottle of scotch?
Oh,
The really
Cherry sugar
intriguing thing is that nothing is
Carrots.
actually wrong with its eyes. The problem lies in its connection to the brain, which is interesting. There are two perfectly healthy eyes there.
What are you talking about?
A
The
horse.
Nice.
What if we get like how's that called?
A blinder.
A blinder for one side, so it's like a pirate horse, and with the other eye, it can just
Like an eye patch, kid, look.
Yeah, an eye patch.
Technically,
And a top hat.
we could fix it if we could physically alter its eye. If we can actually make its eye wonky, that would make it to where it could see everything in focus because it wouldn't have the weak connections anymore. I'm just saying. If we mess up this horse.
I mean, I could heal it, but then I'm out of spell slots.
Donna is just putting their hand on their head and making a beeline for the horse. I can't with.
Just get the
Just
horse.
give me the horse.
Just get the horse.
I'd like to go and get the horse and bring it back while this
generation of
conversation's going on.
I mean, at least the fish isn't
fascinating.
at least the horse isn't making flirtatious noises at us.
True.
Do you often?
More than you'd like to know.
Perfect. So the party goes back to Stan's, and Stan obviously takes you back out to the horse, and is more than happy to let the horse go with y'all. As y'all leaving, he kind of flips a small. a small little bag to Pale. He's like, all right, here, and there's only two gold in it.
That's fine. I won. I'm happy. I'll flip one back to him. Was nice doing business.
It's like, and as y'all are now absolutely seeing this horse with its strabismus, it's a perfectly fine horse. It's very healthy. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful.
It's just ass-eyed.
It just, it has that wonky eye that the Stantis can't get over, and then for whatever reason calls it lame. And you all begin your trek north of the town, going out of the gate. It's more of a palisaded wall. It's not, again, they think they're a city, but they're really just a village / a town, with the hopes of becoming a city someday as they continue to grow. And as you go out the gates and you start heading north towards the big red oak, you see that there are some folks coming in to the city, smaller caravans coming with empty wagons, farmers bringing in goods as they do, and just a normal day at the gate. And as you're heading out, the guards at the gate kind of give you a little of a congratulation. Thank you so much for what you all did. We're really, the city really needed to make sure that the Stormcrest could come in and unload it. It's absolutely one of the bigger commerce things that happens here, and is when the Stormcrest returns. So that everybody knows that they're going to be eating hot soup tonight, right? And you head off off to the north. It takes about it's a couple miles, so it doesn't take that long. At a walking pace, even with Adana, their short little legs. But I do need.
What if we put Adana on the horse?
On the horse.
What?
We have a horse. We have to fucking move it so Adana can sit on it.
Oh yeah.
And now we know it's not lame.
Right.
Yeah. Plus, hey guys, should we call it lame or do you have a different name?
It should be called Pants.
Many.
Should be named Ass Eyes.
Pants.
Muffin.
Muffin top?
Pants.
I think we should call it LeMay.
I agree with
LeMay.
Marius on this one. Pants.
I'd like to talk about the fact you want to put me on the horse and didn't give me a choice.
It's that on my shoulders. You don't really get much of an option here.
Would you prefer the horse or would you prefer Marius?
Who would you prefer to ride?
Phrasing!
I look at Marius. I look at the horse.
It's a pretty horse.
It took too long. I picked Donna up and put them on the horse.
So that's pretty funny. You guys are the worst. No.
We are the chaos
nothing.
party. Like, low level made this party solely based on how chaotic we want this would be.
Yes.
At this vantage point, Adana, you have a bird's eye view of your surroundings, in your opinion, because you're so high up now. After you get you can see the red oak out off in the distance. It's not too far away. It's only been, maybe an hour and a half.
Oh, that's not too far.
It was only 2.5 miles. It wasn't too far. But I do need Adana to roll a survival check for me.
Guidance.
Ah! The bad luck is back.
D4
Oh
at the D4.
A D4 ain't gonna help.
That's a
one.
nat one.
Oh.
I do have a +4, so a 5.
Plus
Okay.
the D4.
Oh, you want me to do the
No.
D4?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's better than 5.
Fall off the horse.
7.
Okay. So as you're, up there and you're kind of looking around and you're looking at the different tracks, just taking stock of what you are guessing has been traveling up and down the road. You see normal wagon wheel prints and horse tracks and stuff like that. But you don't see anything out of the normal or out of the ordinary for this particular area. And that goes for pretty much everybody else, even with your passive perceptions. You don't really see anything out of the ordinary. You're actually enjoying the walk and being out of the city and the droll noise that sometimes the shipyard causes within the walls and off the cliff sides and such. So you get to the Red Oak, and when you get there, you see that it does branch off into a lesser worn path up towards the foothills, and then it goes off to the north still on this particular road. And you know that this is where you all are supposed to, divert to go back into the foothills to find the potential wasps and hornets and insects of stinging sorts. I'm going to have the rogue and the mage and I don't know. I think the sunlight is reflecting off some of the snow that might be out here and causing a little discomfort on your eyes there, Pale. I apologize. So just those two. If you could roll perception checks for me, please.
I can do disadvantage. 17.
Okay.
21 again.
Okay. Yeah, actually, Marius and Pale, you can also roll at disadvantage if you'd like. Donna, your previous roll was what I was looking for to see if you had caught it early, if there is anything to be caught. Not that there is, but Marius and Pale at disadvantage, if you don't mind.
At disadvantage, it's a dirty 20
12.
because my first was a natural 20.
Oh
Okay.
no! That's the worst.
What'd you get, Pale?
Oh.
Well, okay. So Samziaza and Marius, as you are coming up and getting ready to take that turn towards the foothills, you see fresh wagon wheels going in that direction. You see horse prints, wagon wheels, and it doesn't look like there has been much use of this particular path in a while. Otherwise, not even like other animal tracks. And Donna, you're just like, what are these? What are they even looking at or for?
There's a wagon going out here.
Could someone else have been looking for what we're looking for?
I mean, it was a contract that was normally given to the Thieves Guild through Silk, based on the information we've already kind of gotten. So there's that possibility. But obviously you can't tell if the Thieves Guild has special shotted shoes on horses or tracked wagon wheels or anything. So it just appears that there is traffic having gone up this path that normally or doesn't look at anything else has traveled this way in a long, months.
Out of character question, would this be one of the things that Sem has to give tribute to the Thieves Guild for then? Since it's normally a Thieves Guild contract.
So this is not. This is
Okay.
This is something that you're contracted to do for Pan. But if you were out doing some of the stuff that you sometimes do, that's where they went there to cut, right? If you're gonna go out and just kind of like get some coin off the purses of people's strings you're cutting in the town, that's a different. That's the payout they're looking for.
Okay.
All right, so continue up there, and it is getting closer to the, afternoon. The sun is looking like it's getting ready to set beyond the trees, and probably a good opportunity to make a choice of continuing on into the foothills, into the dark, or setting up some sort of camp.
Can I make a survival check to see if there's a good camp around? Like a good spot to set up camp?
Absolutely.
If we're camping, I'm healing the horse.
So, with the Blood Hunter advantage, I rolled a 3 twice, meaning 5.
Okay. So you don't really see anything that you feel comfortable with, as far as like protective angles and such like that. That you're thinking of like the defensibility of an area. You don't really see that, but there's lots of openings and clearings on either side of the trail itself. Donna, if you would like, anybody else want to roll survival to see if you are like, oh, that looks like a good spot. If you want to do that, you can absolutely do so.
Let's do it.
Okay.
That's a 6.
14. 14.
Dude,
Okay.
I hate it here. 9.
What'd you get, Chandelier?
Oh God, 4.
Okay. Donna, the others are like also looking around and they're like, yeah, and they're kind of pointing out some areas, and you're like, Chandelier is like that looks good over here, and somebody else is like, oh, I agree, and you're like, yeah, if you want to get poison sumac and ivy, can't you? I mean, and it's like, don't you, and as soon as he points that out, you're like in your book.
Don't you guys know what that is over there?
Leaves
You
of
mean
3.
rash if you use it the
Amateurs.
wrong.
Leaves
Where
of
I'm from,
3.
we're using that as skin peeling, so shut up.
And you obviously, see an area that is way more appropriate. That there's even like you hear like the sounds of a small little brook or creek.
Over here, I think this would be a little bit better of a spot for us.
I was just about to say that.
Good eyes, Marius.
Mm.
Oh, you too. Get a room.
You do.
I think my spot was just fine.
We can make them share a tent.
I would like to give a death glare at Sem right now.
Sam's like literally at eye level with him, and so she's laughing because he's on the horse and she's 6 feet tall.
That's it.
All right, 6'7".
All right, so y'all basically stomp down some grass around in a circle, get a little fire going, put your campsite together, and by the time that you're all done with that, and maybe even put some effort into some food, it is dark, and the sounds of nature start to take over. You hear some snowy owls and maybe even the howling of a wolf off in the distance, or a coyote, like in the far distance. And of course the bubbling brook that you are near, which it's only maybe 5-6 foot wide. It's like I said, it's small, and you may have some fish in it. If you had decided to maybe get some fish for dinner, you would probably have a pretty good successful chance of doing so.
We still have those fishing nets.
True.
That's true. So
There's a lot of fishing nets.
Yeah, a lot.
Oh, I used a lot.
You
Well-
did.
We presumably grabbed some of them back.
Did we?
Right.
I think
Yeah.
we only
Okay, cool.
used half
Yeah.
of them in the fight.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and only one of them was damaged beyond
What did you
repair.
use to fight? Nets? What do you use?
Nets and-
Swords?
Sticky bacon.
Sticky bacon, yeah. It's a story for a lifetime.
Bacon sage.
Mhm.
Right. Are you gonna set up a watch for the evening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I only need 4 hours, I think, so.
It is very different being in nature versus studying nature. I wish to point this out.
Sure. You good?
I'm fine. It's just a lot of new right now, and I'll be good.
All right.
So I'm gonna be honest, my dark vision's not like super good. Like I can't see super fast, so maybe I should take one of the later shifts.
Morning shift?
Yeah, like morning or first shift, whichever you want. I'm just saying, like, I should not be mid shift.
Well, if you want, I can take watch with you. That way, when it gets to the dark areas of the watch, you don't have to worry about it. Considering that I know Pale doesn't need sleep because she's an elf. Well, she needs a little bit of sleep.
Not that much.
Yeah.
That much, and I can see
Just
120 feet.
Shot asleep.
You've measured?
Oh yeah, I did. Don't you?
No.
And besides, if she's being particularly facetious, she can also just go into kind of a trance where she's kind of conscious of things, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what my mother used to do. That's how I never got into her
Look, however
life.
we want to do it, I'm just saying I'm not going to see shit at night, so...
I'll take the dark shift. I like it. Dude, during daytime, it's just like...
It's nice and warm, and, like, we all can see.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I don't know if there's any watch shift that wouldn't involve some time in darkness.
I can see a bit. I'm just saying the extent of my whole shift should not be pitch black.
Okay, I want to heal the horse and then sleep.
Okay. All right.
Trance.
So you go to the horse and you're gonna go ahead and try to heal it. What are you using to heal it?
Healing word.
A spell.
Level 1.
All right. So describe to me how you are going to do this. And instead of just walking up and saying a healing word, I want a visualization of this experience.
She fondles the eye very tenderly.
Whispers the one word from Lord of the Rings in its ear.
Yeah. So I walk up to the horse, talk to the horse, take the lavender oil out, let it smell it, calm it down. Then I'll put my hands around here. Not on the eyes first because it might go wild. And then I mumble a couple of words.
Mm-hmm.
Try to rewire the brain. As the wizard said, it's just a disconnecting thing that doesn't work.
Okay.
Then I kiss the horse.
Okay.
Tent.
A tent. Hope my god actually helps me and hope the horse is fixed.
Okay. So you do this. The horse, when you first present the lavender oil for it to smell, it does kind of jerk back a little bit because it's so powerful to it in its nostrils. But it leans in because it doesn't feel threatened. It gives it a little bit more of a sniff and kind of gives a little bit of almost like a mild horse sneeze. And you know, as one does, I don't know what it is about horses, but I'm guessing when you put your hands on the side of its head and go into that calm mode, I don't know why we do that to horses, why we shush them, but yeah. And the energy of your healing word goes through your body into your hands and into the horse. And when it does that, the one eye that is a strabismus, you realize that it's not. There's nothing wrong with the horse. There's nothing wrong with the eye. It's just just a thing. But the eye turns silver at your healing hands. Okay.
We have a special horse, wizard.
It turns silver. It does not fix itself.
Chandler, come over here. Or Ranger, I don't care. Someone with nature shit going on.
I thought you were saying that the horse was a wizard. My bad.
What did you do to my horse?
You're a wizard, Pants!
Honey, I made it shiny. It's silver now.
Hey, we're being raided by cats.
Yay.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank
Awesome.
you for the raid,
Actually, can
cat.
I do a medicine check? As long as those two come over or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I do an Arcana check on the horse to see if anything's changed?
Yes, please do that.
11.
Are you just over there whittling, Marius?
19.
Okay. There is something magical going on here, and it is in the school of abjuration. I want to say abjuration is what it's gonna go with. Maybe.
Well, at least it's not divination. It's not seeing its past and its future out of its two wonky eyes.
Right. Yeah, that'd be confusing.
This horse becomes a chameleon of both past and future.
But what does happen is as you are, because you're focusing on that left eye, right, Phil, on the one that is that has a strabismus, and it turns silver. And as you see that, and you're looking at it, and it doesn't change its shape. And when you kind of look back, you notice that its other eye has also turned silver. Instead of that dark, how it's a very dark brown, almost black, how a horse's eyes are. It's silver, like an owl when they get moon eyes, right? That silver owl moon eye.
Does it have fangs now?
It does not. It is not a vampiric horse, which I was thinking.
Just asking. It could be.
Look.
But when you do that, you now feel like a bond like you've never had with a creature before.
Guys, we have adopted a horse.
Well, they haven't.
Okay, I have.
You
They
have.
bonded with you.
Yeah, I know.
What did you do with my horse?
It's my horse now. I'm sorry.
It's been imbued with
We have a special
magic, which is
connection.
Intriguing because that's a protection style of magic, isn't it?
It is.
So
It is.
I think you've just given this horse dark vision.
Are we all just gonna keep yelling at the woods in the middle of the night, or are we gonna start going to rest and
Stop it! Do you see what they did with my horse?
Adana, you're screaming, and that's how
I don't care!
Idana, it's okay. Breathe. This seems to be a good thing.
It's fixed.
Adana just turns and walks away. Very
Isn't this
eagerly.
a horse that y'all were gonna sell?
Chandelar, can we give her the floof for a second so she can calm down, maybe?
Adana's gone.
Okay.
It's gone.
Okay.
Should I go after her?
Did Idana go back to her
Pale,
their
maybe,
tent?
Pale, maybe you shouldn't be the one to go after Adana.
But I fixed the
Are we
words.
offering to send me after? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I can go. I'm an expert at all things social.
Why don't you
and
just sit down?
communication.
Yeah,
How
you
about
nailed
I-
it, Sandra. Why don't you sit down? I'll go get Idana. Mostly
I'll
because,
go.
if it fails, I can just pick them up.
I'll go along
Sam,
too.
you want to leave the wizard and Pale together alone
yes.
How
in the
about
middle
this?
of the woods.
You could just leave me here. I'm
Marius,
fine.
how about you stay here with them? I'm the one who's a little bit better with words.
Mm.
I'll go after Adana.
But Idana's like my best friend.
Yeah. I'm the odd one out. I'm the one who doesn't have a best friend. Actually, I carry my best friend in my backpack. But yeah, it should be
Nice.
Marius.
All right.
I'll start trancing so I can get my spell
But-
slots
Yeah,
back.
get your sleep. I'll be back.
All right.
No, actually, I'll stand next to the horse and just figure out what's the deal while they are talking.
I'm gonna start drawing the horse's eyes in my book.
Okay.
Sam is gonna set up some tents.
All right. Well, like
Keep
I
an
said.
eye on those two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you go and you finish. You're going to finish setting up the campsite after you've done all this, and then Marius, you go find Adana. Donna, where did you go? Where did you run off to?
Let's say a good 100, 150 yards away from the camp.
Okay.
Any direction's fine.
I imagine it doesn't take me long to catch up.
It does not.
Big legs.
Right. It doesn't take long at all.
Short stack, you're not supposed to walk off in the woods by yourself. Ain't you the woodsy type?
Did you see what they did.
Look, personally, no, I didn't. I didn't even look at the fucking horse. But this is the same horse that you were gonna sell. So, are you really that upset about it? Or are you just
That wasn't
amplifying your
me.
mood? Or
That
you just
wasn't me.
amplify? Right. Your options are: I can pick you up and carry you back. You can walk back like an individual, or I can dunk you in the water until you figure it out.
Try it and you'll lose a hand.
Right. And I will bear hug and walk back, or that's at least what I'll attempt to do.
All right.
I imagine that it's probably some kind of contested role.
Yes.
So, well, first, Donna, do you resist?
No,
You don't.
Adana
Okay.
does not resist. Just
Alright.
gives in.
Fair enough.
Adorable.
I'm just imagining Adana like tucked under Marius's arm, just pouting.
Yes.
I see this.
Yep.
I didn't need that visual.
Dead. You're right.
That's what I see. I see it. Adana kind of just crying a little on the shoulder, and Maris is like patting him on the back.
Now go, babe.
All right. That's what you see. Adana come walking, or Marius come walking and holding Adana like a bear hug, and Adana's just kind of just giving into the fact that the horse is not his or theirs anymore. So life will go on. So, but they're still not overly pleased, especially when you do get back. You do look over and Pale is still kind of like brushing the horse and.
Oh, go bed so that you can take the dark shift.
Okay, I'll talk into my sleeve. I'll go trance.
Out of character, what is Marius's dark vision?
60 feet.
Okay, so same as Sam's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I was like, Jim's on first. Maybe you take last.
Well,
I only need 4 hours, I think, so.
one of the ones that doesn't have dark vision should probably be last because that's when
that's what I'm
the
saying.
sun's starting to kind of come up.
No, doesn't
But I
everybody
can.
have dark vision?
I have dark vision.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
I think-
everyone has dark vision.
I was gonna say, I don't think Chandelure has dark vision, does she?
Probably
Half
not.
elf.
I'm a half elf, so I think so.
But everyone has dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
As most parties
We're-
do.
Do we want to leave?
We're the dark vision party.
There's no human
Shan-
here.
Are we gonna
Yeah,
leave
but it seems-
Chandelar up by themselves in the out in the wilderness?
No.
With books in their backpack.
Chandelar is in first shift with me because there is no way in hell I trust them to actually pay attention to their surroundings.
I can do a 4-hour shift, so you only have to do 2 and 2 if you want.
Yeah,
Do it
let's
that
do
way.
that.
Oh.
Let's do that.
I can pay attention. I can pay extra attention.
Oh, I
Super
believe it.
attention.
10 out of 10. Best attention given.
All right. So the night goes by uneventfully. It's a little cold in the middle of the night as it does, but there's no additional snowfall or any of that. And you wake up, rested, ready for the day to continue the journey up into the foothills. Breaking down the camp doesn't take over a long time. You're all pretty sufficient and skilled at doing so. So you break down, pack everything back up, and get back on the trail. As you start heading up into the foothills, like I said, it's only about 5 miles from the Red Oak, and you had already gone in maybe a mile and a half from the Red Oak. So it only takes you a couple hours, and you're up into the foothills. You can tell that the forest is starting to be more thick. There's rocky outcroppings as you continue up into the area. The ranger is going to need to go ahead and roll a survival for me to see, because you're trying to track some stuff, right? Trying to see where there might be the potential for a nest.
I run up to her. Idana, I'm really sorry about the horse. I really just tried to heal it.
Just make a hand
Please.
gesture. Just
Please.
Nope.
Can I touch you and give you guidance?
No. No.
Please.
No. Out of character, I already rolled anyways. You don't. It's fine. But
I tried.
but I just make this. No, I'm not. I will not accept.
Hey, thank you, Cats with Dice, for the raid.
I rolled 18 plus 4, so 22.
Nice. All right. So here's the thing. You're like surveying, and the rest of the party is just kind of following your lead because they know this is like your space. You see off in the distance what appears to be some smoke, like a fire, not like a big fire, like maybe someone's got a campfire going on. But it looks like it's like over a small little ridge, and there's some smoke blooming up above the trees. But it, like as it gets above the trees, it's almost like that's when it like dissipates. You barely catch it the first time, but as you kind of focus, you see there is a small little plume of smoke over in that direction that you see it. Yeah.
Guys, there's something ahead. I'm seeing. It looks like some smoke.
Look.
Something's up there.
Well, it wouldn't be a natural smoke, right? Because there's been recent precipitation.
Do I
No,
know?
there wasn't any snow or anything in the night before.
Ah, never mind. It could be. Forest fire.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
That's terrible advice.
So, what do you want to do, Adana?
How far off was it?
I would say, based on the way the rolling the foothills are, maybe a half mile.
I think we should scout it out. See what we're dealing with.
Okay. Then I will follow your lead.
Out of character. Am I about to break the rule of like you're not supposed to split the party? I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Again.
I
To quote a wonderful
I didn't
voice-
break that the last time. You
To quote a
guys
voice
left.
actor, don't do that. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah. I'm committed though, aren't I?
And here we are.
Okay, so that's what you're gonna go scout it out.
Yep.
Okay, and who's going with you, or are you going by yourself?
Chandelar, did you say you're coming with me?
Yep.
If you
I am,
want.
of course, the stealthiest member of our party and will aid immensely.
Okay,
All right, go Team Recon.
perfect.
Semyaza follows them and tries to blend into the fucking shadows just because she knows they're about to derp.
Okay,
I want to give Blessing of the Trickster to our wizard. Just, I want to use it.
okay, and what does that do?
Gives her advantage on dexterity stealth checks for an hour.
Nice. All right, so a half mile isn't that long of a travel. You know, it's gonna take like 8 or 10 minutes for you to like get up there. We'll go 12 minutes because you're trying a little sneaky to the survey, which leaves Marius and Pale kind of back, right? Awesome.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Marius,
So
I feel things are going down.
and
I'm
Semyaza,
a horse.
you guys move forward through the woods relatively easily. The stealth checks, being what they are fine. You're doing what you need to do, and you get up to a little cusp of trees. And I'm gonna go into my map here, because we are there. I'm going to put you all on the map where you're hiding in the trees. show you what you see. I don't know if I may have to change my.
Oh
see
no, I
Strahd.
don't want to see
Yeah.
Strahd.
Right, sorry, my bad. Thanks,
Strahd
Strahd.
is creepy.
Guess we
I don't
figured out
like
he's stuck
Strahd.
with Fire.
It's only creepy if you don't voice him like a sassy guy.
You know, that's fair. But I'm in
Ooh.
a Curse of Strahd campaign right now, and he gave my poor little druid a compliment and for turning into a wolf, and it made me very uncomfortable. I was not comfortable with the energy created in the studio that day.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's cool.
All right, so you all are here behind these trees, and you see in front of you there's a small fire. Yeah, that's where the smoke is coming from. What appears to be a mild conflict going on between two opposing individuals, and what appears to be a skeleton that is encircled by some sort of like fungus trap. And they are like I said, they are engaged in some sort of conflict right there.
With the fungus or each other?
They seem to be casting spells back and forth between each other. You'll see like some vines come up and then they go away, and then there's like a bolt of energy at this one being shot at this one. The skeleton, like I said, seems to be trapped around in this circle, but it seems to want to get towards this one here. There are some horses over here that are just kind of like, corral, if you will, here. And then, of course, there's the wagon that you see. And there's some rocky outcroppings and some trees as well. So
In character, would Semyaza be able to tell that this is a fairy ring?
Maybe. Go ahead and roll Arcana.
Okay. That's a no.
Okay.
I rolled a 6.
You do recognize it as some sort of trap, but you don't know if it's a fairy ring trap or if it's a conjured magical trap.
So Semyaza kind of like gently pats Chandelar and goes, "Hey,
Holy
can you
crap!
figure out?"
Remember, you stuck up behind them.
It's true.
I thought you stayed home.
Home? What's home?
I swear to God, home base. It's
Home is where the heart is.
I have a
Your
heart.
home's in your chest.
Oh, now, okay. So I know that that's a trap, but I can't figure out what kind. Can you do a check and see if you know anything on that?
I can't tell if you're metagaming. He asked me to do a check. I can look at it, yes.
Same thing for you, and you actually can roll as well. You can roll nature. No?
I nat 1.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
7.
Sim startled me too much. I can't figure out how to magic right now.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
7 for me.
7 for you. Yeah, you all are just like, and it looks like it's like holding it at bay, but you're not sure like if it's magical or like a fey-induced trap of some sort. And as you are observing this individual here gets hit by some sort of burst of energy from this one here, and goes down. And you hear that it is a female voice or a female exclamation. As they take the hit, they like lurch back, grab the wagon wheel, and kind of slump to the ground.
Well, that doesn't seem good.
It doesn't.
No. Should we step in? We should step in. Let's step in.
Be careful, because again, these seem to be traps.
So on that note,
Always careful.
Marius and Pale are waiting for you off in the distance. I'm going to be taking another part of the map. I don't need a bigger spot, but I'm going to take this blank area over here, and that's where I'm going to put you, and that's going to represent where you're currently located.
Okay.
Because, yeah, you guys split up the party. And that's always fun. And you're about a half mile away. So while they've gone up and you two are sitting there with your horse, your beautiful horse with all its stank.
Hello, Lavender.
Both of you go ahead and roll perceptions for me, please.
How bright is it?
It's mid. It's about midday.
Are we in a forest or is it just empty?
There's some trees about. Yeah, there's some coverage, so yeah.
Can I roll normal?
Yeah, just roll normal.
Moment, that was cocked. That's not bad. 14.
What'd you get, Marius?
21.
21. Oh yeah, you both are like sitting there talking like, man, are they going to be back anytime soon? Blah blah. And you hear.
Whoa, that's big. That's what she said. I know. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh fuck!
Is this the murder hornet?
Fuck that horse out.
Wow.
This is not worth it.
There's your size comparison.
I need a ranger. I need hunter's mark
It's
here.
bigger than me.
And the ghost wasp or the ghost hornet there's a ghost hornet with it as well, because oddly they sometimes will cohabitate. Ghost hornets are like blue jays. They'll just take other people's nests or set up in others' nests. So this is going to be good because you can all roll initiatives together, and the two conflicts will take place at relatively the same time.
Marius, we have a horse. We can go to the others, or are we taking it down?
Oh, we're not making it to the others.
Okay.
But look at this horse. This horse is amazing.
Fuck that horse.
The horse can fly. Should we flee?
But don't lick it. It doesn't taste like raisins.
All right, so everybody go ahead and roll your initiatives for me, please.
14.
8.
Dirty 20.
14.
18.
Everybody but me.
What'd you get, Marius?
8.
8?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it basically is going to start off where Chandler is like, we should interject. And Chandler, you're going to go first.
Oh no, I didn't want to go first. Okay, so there's the female. Sorry, I can't see it very well. Let me pull it up on my kitty. Okay. So there's only skeletons inside that cagey thing?
So I'll give you a better look at it just so you can kind of.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No worries. No worries. So it's going to be that skeleton, right?
Okay.
That caster of some sort, and then of course there are two horses over there, and then of course the other person or being that is unconscious.
Okay.
So what I'm hearing is that this group needed the healer, and I needed the ranger.
Yep.
Isn't that always the way?
We'll go with that a little bit now, make some adjustments as needed. All right, so yeah, your party is here. So if you do something from there, it's about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet away from you to get this creature. And then we'll make some camera adjustments based on everybody's initiatives.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Mage Armor.
Okay.
'Cause I feel there's gonna be a fight happening. Just saying.
All right. You cast Mage Armor.
Yep.
Very
And
good.
then, fuck it. I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost at the. Sorry, language. at the caster guy.
Okay. Is that is mage armor like a bonus action?
Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot. I don't think so. So that's all I can do. I'm going to stay where I am and cast mage armor.
Okay. So, I mean, you can move if you want.
No, I'm going to stay where I am and cast mage armor.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead with Semyaza. You're up.
Okay. How far away are these guys?
For you from where you are here to there is about 30 feet.
Okay. And they're trying to attack us.
They are not. They
Like,
are
readily.
not trying to attack you at all. They have just knocked down this individual here, and the skeleton is still wrapped in this circle here, the circle of mushrooms. And
Okay. So Semyaza is going to draw her hand crossbow, and she's gonna try to aim at the head of this thing.
the caster or the skeleton? Okay.
Skeleton.
Okay, just go ahead and roll an attack if that's what you want to do. You can. Okay. So you're pulling out that new hand crossbow.
Yep. That is a
Right.
17.
Oh yeah, so are you using one of the bolts that was in the case, or are you using the bolt, just a regular bolt?
I'm just gonna use a regular bolt for now, because I don't know what those silver bolts would do on a skelly boy.
So you hit the skeleton in the head. Go ahead and roll damage, piercing.
So let me see. If I remember correctly, it's 1d6 plus 2, but let me double check. Yep. Okay. 7.
Okay. Yeah, your bolt streaks through the air, striking the skeleton like just behind where an ear might be, and it ejects off the other side, and bone fragments explode. The caster there turns, and you can see that it is maybe of elven descent, and they turn and they go, no! They say no, and then as soon as that happens, the skeleton crumbles.
Hey guys, we got the bone meal.
Perfect.
A large explosion of fire erupts behind the spellcaster, knocking them forward 5 feet. I don't know if you can see all that, but this happens. This large fiery event, and the skeleton steps out of that fire. Oops, sorry. Nope, that's not good enough. I apologize for all the shaky hands there. Just get on there. There we go. And then this steps out of the fire
Jesus fucking Christ.
and strikes that spellcaster in the back, pushing it forward another 5 feet, and you can see its cloak go up in flames on its back.
Well then.
Nice, right? All right, so Pale, you see these two giant flying things coming beeline for a particular...
Okay. First up, Marius, are we running or are we staying? We have a horse. You're quiet? Okay. We're fighting. Since the ghost thing sounds like something I might know, do I know it? Maybe it's from the Underdark?
It's not. It's not. It's just a giant hornet that is adapted to be white and can basically...
Like me! It's albino.
Okay.
Yeah, to blend into the snow cover in the area. That's all.
Okay, but it's not an albino, so not light hating.
No, not like you.
Not
And
like
that says over here. When you notice it, these are actually up in the air, like here.
I have a rope. Should we play cowboy and just... Why are you not talking to me? Do you hate me? I can't
We can't hear you.
Oh, no.
Sorry about that. Marius wouldn't know what to do.
Okay.
Is the problem. So, like, Marius is not bright. You're asking Marius bright questions.
Marius, are we taking them down?
Fuck you.
All right. So I can't touch them. How far are they away? I can't touch them, right?
They are about you can't touch them. They are about 15 feet forward and then 15 feet up. So they got about a 25 foot angle on you. So yeah, they're like up here.
Okay, that's too far. I mean, I could. Okay, let's do guiding bolt.
Okay.
I guess it's an attack roll. Is it?
Yeah, attack roll.
Okay. Yeah, 8. Does not hit.
Okay, what?
8.
An 8. All right. So as you're like looking for what you're gonna do, and you're last thing you're like guiding bolt, it kind of goes off into the surrounding area, and you do miss it, and it kind of like does as a insect does, kind of dodges the fly swatter you were throwing at it, which takes us to the fly swatters. They're going to come in. The giant wasp comes down and goes to attack your horse, which I'm going to represent with this. I have a 6-sider, and it
could I theoretically, since I didn't move, my bonus action slap my horse on the ass so it disappears, so it runs away?
You can absolutely do that.
Okay, I'm like, run!
Okay.
Slap it.
It jumps a little bit. It moves forward 5, and then it kind of positions itself between you and Marius.
Okay.
Almost in a protective stance. And the giant wasp wasp comes down, and as it goes to like put its legs onto the horse kind of rears up again and kind of pushes it off, and it actually lands on the ground in front of you.
Marius, kill it!
And then the ghost hornet comes zipping in to attack Marius. Ooh. Yeah, it zips in, and you see its stinger is poised to hit you right in the chest.
Going to use my reaction to Blood Maledict to reduce it by a d4.
The damage?
The attack roll.
Okay. And so as it does that, and you hit it with that reactionary event, it just kind of crashes into your chest. It's about as big as your
4.
chest. Yeah, it doesn't hit you. It doesn't hurt you. It just kind of like, what the? But it doesn't like attach itself to you.
Mm.
You know, like an insect would. Like it's got its hooks inside your clothing, or like a bat would get in your hair. But it's now like on you. But it's not like causing you any like ability to do what you need to do.
Okay.
Right? Which takes us to the spellcaster here. Turns release as a bonus action, releases its cloak onto the ground and casts some form of spell at the flaming skeleton.
Semyaza just yells, "Sorry!"
Hits the flaming skeleton with what appears to be an ice bolt. And that takes us to Marius. Let me go. Do you need a little bit of a close up?
I can't. It's attached to me, right?
Yeah, it is. It is literally like on your chest. Like its face is in your face.
This is gonna be stupid. Can I slam myself into the ground so that I, like, flatten between it and me?
Sure, we can do that. Go ahead and roll a strength check.
17.
You easily beat it. So you kind of grab it and you're gonna jump down on the ground with it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Roll your attack. This is kind of like a body slam.
All right. So would you like it to be like an unarmed strike kind of deal?
Just roll an attack. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Can you keep holding it?
13.
Okay, 13 hits. You do pin it to the ground underneath you as your body weight causes it some damage. You hear the cracking of its its flesh because it's got that like hardened flesh.
Yeah.
The little hairs on it, but you hear it crack a little bit, and one of its legs that it's kind of got hooked around where your rib cage is on your side there, kind of snaps in a grotesque manner. But you are prone on top of this creature that is can sting you.
I know it's stub.
But it did take some damage. I'm not going to tell you how much damage it took, though.
Mm-hmm.
Can we... I have a rope.
I feel like I've used all I have to slam myself down, hold it down at this point. So I'll call that my turn.
If you guys think there's if you guys still have the fishing nets, you might be able to use one.
I don't have... I've used both.
I gave mine away. I never had one.
I have the rope, so we could tie it up, but if we don't have an action, we can't do it.
Right. That'll come around to the next round. Adana, it is you're taking up the rear here. What are you gonna do?
All right. How far is the spellcaster away right now?
The spellcaster to you is 5, 10, 15, 20 feet.
I would like to move up next to the spellcaster.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make a small camera adjustment. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20. All right.
All right, and then could I still use my longbow when I move like that?
You sure can. Yeah.
All right, then I'd like to use my longbow and fire an arrow right into that flaming skeleton.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Ooh, that wasn't good. A 4. I don't think the modifiers are going to matter. What modifier do you use? Because I'm a little confused, like looking at this again.
So you can use.
What are you trying to do?
So if I'm just shooting my longbow, I'm looking at D&D
You're
Beyond.
proficient in it, yes?
Yes.
Okay, then on D&D Beyond, there is a thing at the top next to like your charisma, and between charisma and walking speed, it says proficiency. You add your proficiency.
Okay.
Talking about that, I forgot my spell attack.
I don't hit it anyway, so it doesn't. I don't think it matters because that was a 4 plus the 2.
All right, so you pull back the bow, you let loose an arrow. It flies into the skeleton's form, but you can see that it doesn't fly out. It kind of the intensity of the fire burns it as it enters into that space, and it would have like slipped right through its ribs. It would have, done nothing. So that takes us back to the top of the batting order. So we are at Chandelar. What are you going to do now?
guess Ray of Frost at the flame guy.
Okay, what's the range on that? 60, 90, something like
Blah. That's a great question. 60.
that? Okay, perfect.
$22 to hit.
That's a hit.
I guess I need damage dice, don't I?
Only a couple.
Generally speaking, good idea to have those on hand.
Generally speaking. I promise I'm more put together than this. 3 damage.
All right, so your Ray of Frost streaks out from your from your hand, striking it in its its shoulder blade or shoulder area, but in its clavicle. It hisses out, and you can see that it does have an effect on the creature. And its fiery skull kind of turns in your direction to acknowledge your presence on the field. Semyaza, you are up. Do you want to move too, Senya?
No, we're good.
Smart.
I'll stay back here.
All right. All right, Senya.
What do I know about those silver crossbolts?
Nothing. You know nothing about them. You have never used one before, and you didn't really let me know if you were gonna investigate them in any manner.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna use one of the silver crossbolts. See what fucking happens. Where did that D20 go? That's a 17.
So go ahead and roll your regular D6 for the bolt damage. Just tell me what you get.
Okay. That's a 4.
So you let the bolt loose. Adana and the mage hear this high shrieking whistle as it streaks through the air. It strikes the character's dead center in the chest, and you see that a radiation of cold explodes from that strike, putting out some of the fire in that area. But as it kind of clears through the creature, the creature doesn't fall, and the fire reignites that area. But the bony structures that are there are definitely. It has taken note of your presence, and it does look like it takes a pretty heavy hit. And also note that you no longer have 3 bolts. That bolt is gone. Do you have a bonus action or a move action you'd like to take?
I'm gonna. Are there some trees or anything that I can hide behind?
This is a tree. I didn't put one of these nicer trees I have in the background of here, but you are actually underneath a tree as we speak.
Okay. Are there more trees nearby?
This one here, and then, like I said, there are a couple behind there.
I'm gonna slink to another tree so I can hide and still stay hidden.
All right, so you can
say that 5 times fast.
So if you want to move into this relative area, that's you can maintain your hide.
Yeah.
You'll have visibility on the scene. Okay. The skeleton does its thing, and it does burning hands in your general direction. There, roll a dexterity check for me, Adana. It's coming at the spellcaster and Adana.
Ooh, let's see. That is a 9 plus. I rolled a 9 plus 3, 12.
Okay. So you kind of shift out of the way. You don't need to move a 5 foot or anything. The flames, because it really is directing it at the spellcaster. The spellcaster takes it full brunt from the flaming skeleton, and you hear her scream out, and she takes some damage. It looks like it was a pretty heavy hit as well. And then the creature moves forward with its arms outreached like it's about to throttle the spellcaster. Pale, are you ready, Pale?
Yay.
What are you
Where's
gonna do?
the other one? I don't see it right now. So one is underneath, and the other one is on its back, or?
So this one right here kind of looks like this, with Marius on top of it. This one is literally on the ground in front of you on its feet. It's not up on that look like it is here. It's literally like this, but it's looking at the horse and you, and it's kind of like maneuvering itself, like almost like a giant panther, but with wings and stuff.
Okay.
It's getting ready to pounce on one of the two of you.
We could try. I don't know if it does something if we tie it up. I'll use Word of Radiance on both of them. It's a con save. Radiance?
Okay.
It's a cantrip.
Okay. And what does it do?
A burning radiance erupts from you. Each creature of your choice that you can see within range has to succeed a Constitution saving throw or take 1d6 radiant damage.
Okay. Go ahead and roll 1d6 for each of the creatures.
You have no idea how happy I am to hear each creature of your choice and not just a area
no,
of
each.
effect.
That's I read it. No, I read it. I'm not.
It's like, hey guys, remember how we're level 1?
I
Wait.
used to have a Marius.
Oh god, 2 and a 1
Okay.
for d6, right?
Yeah.
Or what did you want from me?
Yeah, that's it. The d6 damage on each of them. So one takes 2 points and the other one takes 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
that's fine. So yeah, they take a little bit. The wasp took the 2 points and kind of jumps back a little bit because it wasn't expecting you to have a sting yourself. And you hear the hornet that is underneath Marius give a little bit of like that lobster screech as it's taking that damage. Because again, they were expecting to be eating prey. All they're here for is a horse, right? But now it is their turn.
Mm-hmm.
So the wasp is going to jump at you and try to sting you. An 11, does an 11 hit you?
Can I punch it?
You can't. Do you have any reactions?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. All right, so it jumps at you and it tries to sting you but misses. Marius, I need you to roll a strength check for me, please.
Absolutely.
The hornet is also trying to roll a strength check to get out from underneath you.
It was almost a nat 1, but
Oh.
it turned into a 16.
Okay.
It says opportunity attack. What does that mean?
That's if someone leaves your attack radius.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, so you are able to continue to maintain a hold on this underneath you. It is not able to wiggle its way out, and its stinger is not able to get any good leverage. But as you're like holding and struggling, the stinger goes right between your legs. Like if it does hit you, it's going to hit you either in the rumpus as it comes up to hit you, or it's going to make your day even worse. So that happened, which takes us to.
The horse?
So no, the horse is just kind of staying its ground. It's kind of like positioned itself again, where it's trying to be very defensive and protective of you, but it's not reaching out to attack. It's 100% on the defense, which then takes us to Marius. You're up.
Kill it.
I'm gonna pull up my. Well, I'm gonna, like, as I'm holding it, pull my Yakla and stab it. That's the goal here, so I'm gonna make an attack with the Yakla.
All right, go ahead.
That would be a critical hit for 25 points of damage.
Okay, you take that. As you're like grappled with this thing, you let go of your hand and you grab purchase to your weapon, draw it, and you stab it right in its face, and you can feel its body go limp underneath you. And there's just some mild like twitching as insects do in their death throes. So, but you absolutely know that it is reached at that point in its career that it is over.
Woo!
The spellcaster right next to you, Adana, reaches its hand out and touches you on the shoulder, and you can feel your skin hardening. In a you can either accept this spell that's being cast on you, or you can choose to save versus wisdom. Donna?
Sorry, I missed that.
So the spellcaster that's right next to you reaches its hand out and touches you and is casting a spell on you, and you can feel your skin hardening like that of wood. Do you wish to accept it, or do you want to take a save to reject it?
I'm just gonna roll with it because I ran up to them in a friendly capacity, so I'm gonna trust this.
Okay. You now have bark skin. It's going to be a defensive for you. And it is your turn.
Let's see. Do I know what bark skin does to me?
You do not.
Okay. Because I personally don't know either. So.
It's okay. We'll deal with it when it comes to...
All right. Then I would just like to fire another arrow into this thing.
Okay.
I used up all my good luck before. That's going to be a 7.
Okay. So it's kind of the same thing, and now you're realizing that because of the fire, that your arrows and the fact that it is a skeleton are probably going to not be doing anything to this creature, even if you did roll well.
Okay.
Okay. Do you wish to stay where you are, or would you like to take a move action? I'm going to move that as well.
I will stay there.
Okay. Chandelar, it is back to you.
All right. I'm going to continue to cast Ray of Frost on the one dude.
Okay.
Mr. Flamey Skulls. 9.
9 is a miss.
9?
9? But like I said, the spell does arc over there, but it doesn't strike in the body of the creature. It just goes into flame, and you can hear that hissing evaporation of that cold meets fire situation. Do you wish to stay where you are, or would you like to move?
I'm good.
Okay. Which takes us to Semyaza.
So, since I'm hidden, I get advantage, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And you could...
And I can do a sneak attack. So let's see.
Are you using another silver bolt?
Yeah, I'm going to use another silver bolt. So that is 16. Okay. And then since we're level 1, I only get 1d6,
Yep.
I think. Yeah. That would be a 10.
A 10 for damage. So you come out around your hiding spot, take aim, the bolt streaks, and I'm going to just do a little, so you guys can see me, this. All right. So the bolt streaks, hits the side of the head of the creature on the side that hadn't already, where the arrow went through here before, and now it's going through this side, and it blows off the entire other side of its head. just right, and you can Idana and the spellcaster, you feel a radiance of cold when that bolt hits that creature. It totally extinguishes its flame, and the charred bones fall to the ground.
Hey. So, question. If we made this into bone meal, would it already technically be charred bone meal?
I mean, out of character and out of DM, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That's what I was thinking, but, have to clarify
It'll
just in
absolutely
case.
work for that purpose.
Hey guys, we got the bone meal.
All right.
Shouldn't you ask first? Because wasn't this man already fighting this thing or this person?
Hey sir, do you mind if we take the Skelly Boy and grind him up and everything? And
We need to grind his bones to make our bread.
I think there's gonna be a bigger conversation had here. But that takes us to Pale. You're up against the giant wasp.
The other one's dead, right?
Correct.
All right. Is it still on the floor?
It is. It has not launched itself up into the air again.
I fucking want to take my rope, do an athletics check or whatever you want to make. No, sorry, an acrobatics check, animal handling check. I don't care, and rope that shit up.
Of athletics, acrobatics, or animal handling, which one are you best at?
Animal handling or acrobatics doesn't matter.
All right, then roll a d20 and add one of those two.
Or strength? I don't know. 16.
Okay, so you are able to throw a lasso, if you will, around the wasp. And when you do that, are you doing it like I see you kind of holding and pulling back to keep it grounded? Is that the point? Okay. And it does begin to struggle against you because it is its turn now. But your horse, not Adana's horse anymore, obviously.
Sorry.
Your horse, I'm going to replace it.
What have you done to the horse?
The horse rears up on its back legs and brings its hooves down. And it has made another change. It now looks like this.
What?
Okay.
I like this horse.
This makes it worse for me right now. I'm dead inside.
Hey, I just want to say I also got 1 gold for it. We got paid for it.
You can see that like its hooves have some sort of like,
Flame.
Yeah, like a blue flame around its legs, and it comes down. Here, it just crushed the head of this wasp.
So what you're saying is we got Rapidash out of that deal.
A shiny Rapidash.
We did get a shiny Rapidash.
Can we take it on the boat?
Probably, maybe. Those are questions to be had when you.
Don't kill it.
So we have Fizzgig and we have Rapidash.
we have a zoo.
As soon as it's done doing the foot stompy thing, like a cool mist radiates off the horse and over you and Marius, and the horse reverts back to what it looked like before.
Oh, you killed it. Good job.
Still has silver eyes now, but no longer has this appearance. It looks like its normal self again.
Okay.
So now that Marius is standing. Oh, you killed it. Good job. How'd you smash its head in?
Magic.
I'm impressed.
Good job on you too, over there.
He was going for a place I wasn't comfortable with. I had to give him the little stab.
Yeah.
All right, so you have.
So you had the bigger stinger, yeah.
So you've defeated the wasp and the murder hornet, or the ghost hornet. You've taken.
Can I high five Marius? Or low five?
Low five. And I was going to, as you look off in the distance where your companions were, you see more smoke in the air than was previously.
Fuck.
So this now leads. We can go ahead and drop initiatives, drop the combat for everybody. We can go into conversations with a spellcaster.
Technology's hard. We're back.
All right. Hey everybody.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, we are.
Thank you for sticking it out while we took a little bit of a break that was very necessary. I think Marius was about to explode, as was Pale. I think probably everybody had the potential. But we are back. They have just completed fighting off some hornets and wasps and
Skelly boys.
And a little skelly, a flaming skeleton, which could have been a major threat had the spellcaster maybe not been there. So we're lucky for that, and now we're going to see where this leads them. So what are y'all going to do? First, before we go with the spellcaster group, Marius and Pale, are you going to stay there, or are you going to journey in? What is your thoughts?
I'm going to pick up the 2 things and then start walking.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now we go back to Semyaza, Chandalar, and Idana.
Pardon me, sir. Can we get the bones?
The spellcaster turns to you and goes, "Sir," and it is markedly a female's like, "The bones? What?
I apologize. Pardon me, madam. Can we get his bones?"
Yes.
Excellent. I need to grind them.
What?
Oh my god. So, I swear we're actually at least semi-normal people. What our socially inept wizard would like to say is we have been given a quest to get certain items for a shop in town. And one of the items in question happens to be charred bone.
I think I just got class shamed.
That wasn't class shaming. That was just like saying that you know they have a few issues when it comes to social skills.
Hashtag not all wizards.
Oh.
I'm just staying out of this. Adana would just like to avoid this confrontation and go to the spellcaster. Are you okay?
They look at themselves, and they look at you, and they said, "We will be." And when they say "we will be," the big bonfire that was there goes away. Okay, and when it goes away, it just leaves this like circle of stone right there, and you hear the last dying breaths of the other spellcaster right there. And when they die, they transform into what looks a lot like you'd almost like think a hag of some sort, like a night hag or a hag, but it really just looks like a corrupted humanoid of some sort. And the spellcaster with you, as soon as that one dies, kind of gives a sigh of relief. And when you see the 2 horses that were there, they are no longer horses. I'm going to put what they are and show you here in a second. They transform into what appear to be dragon-esque humanoids, or what you will know as dragonborn.
So they've been cursed.
And when you look at them and then you look back at the spellcaster, they are now also
Haggish?
a dragonborn.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And they say, "Thank you. We've been trying to escape from this hag, this creature, for a while, and we weren't sure if we were going to. And they began the summoning of this flaming skeleton that you were so kind to come and help eliminate. That we thought that's while they were distracted, this would have been our opportunity, and we thank you for helping us. Is there anything we can do for you? And at that moment, your companions come up out of the tree line behind you. So
Did you see that?
And so Marius and Pale, you see your companions and 3 Dragonborn are there, and one of them's like talking to your fellow party members.
I got us the bugs.
I got us the bones.
Yeah, we got the bones.
Yeah.
Now,
Ooh, they didn't see the horse.
other than the bones, like, if we come across you guys again, maybe just, like, help us out, since we helped you out. I can't particularly think of anything at the moment that we would need from you, but, you know, just let's be friendly.
The Dragonborn spellcaster puts its hand out to shake Adana's hand, and said, "Absolutely," and looking at you, Sunyaza. Friends are more needed now than ever. And Adana, as soon as you touch hands with this creature, you are like transported inside like your theater of the mind, and you see some stuff that are pretty shocking. You see dragons that are in flight, and those aren't normally seen. But these dragons don't appear to be very healthy. You see ice shards falling off the great glaciers that as part of the polar ice cap. It's almost as if they're receding and just falling into the oceans, and water is starting to rise along across the lands. And you see armies marching from the north to the south, armies of undead, all sorts of like horrors. And you can tell that like, when you let go and you break from that shock, you can tell that the Dragonborn also had that vision and was like, and she said, did you see that?
Yes.
That face you just made low level.
Calls to her companions.
Just concern.
Raise the ring. Okay. And the 2 Dragonborn warriors come over and they take that fire ring and they raise it up on its side. Just put that here and there. And they tell you that this ring is a ring of power, that there are many throughout the land. And to walk through one is to learn yourself. Or to be made or unmade, so you can see the circle there, the stone circle up on its side now.
Yep.
We have a Stargate, guys.
Stargate!
Look at you like,
Ooh, and we have a horse who can pull the Stargate.
no, it's nothing like that. It's not going to teleport you anywhere.
Oh fuck! Sorry.
But the magics of the ring can.
We just need a 7th chevron here, and we'll be okay.
And
No, I think we need the 8th because the we're trying to go a far distance, right?
you want you need the 8th.
We need a ZPM to do that. I'm sorry. Okay, I gotta stop this. Stop. I gotta stop. Sorry. Back. We're focused. We're focused.
Lock
Sorry.
in your chevrons. Lock in your chevrons. All right, so they raise up this stone circle that basically summoned the skeletal, the flaming skeleton, and the spellcaster says, there is a, because we love prophecy tropes. There is a prophecy that the world will change yet again, and if that is about to happen, maybe it is in your hands to help the threat that could be coming from that change. And the spellcaster goes, do you know why we are in an ice age?
No.
Any of you?
I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
Everybody
Everybody,
for the planet's axes?
I mean, scientifically speaking, that would probably be true, but this is not a scientifically spoken event. Everybody go ahead and roll history and tell me what you get.
Six.
6.
14.
13.
23.
Maria, what'd you get? No? 6?
Natural 20, so 19.
Okay. That's
You
amazing.
suck.
All right, so Marius, you and Chen, so you have two different tales that you've heard, and Pale and Semyaza, you also have a third tale that you've heard. But I'm going to go with Marius first, and I'll come around. Marius, your tale that you were told is that thousands of years ago, a great warrior came to this world, and the gods were so threatened by their abilities in war and combat and destruction that they threw down a mountain upon that creature, and that mountain, and then they froze the lands around it to seal the creature below, to minimize its threat against the power of the gods. Okay, that's the story you heard. Chandelar, your story that you heard is that 1,000 years ago the gods fought against each other, and in doing so cracked a part of the world, and in doing that, they, in order to heal it or keep it from splitting the world totally in half, they sealed the wound with the polar ice cap, and it is magically there, and that they did it with machines over truly using magic. And those machines, you kind of remember someone saying that they might look like astrolobic machines, right? That were a little bit of science and magic mixed together to create this thing, and that there were 7 of them that were positioned around the planet to create what is currently going on. Okay. And Pale and Semyaza, your truth or your story that you've been told over the years is that it was a way to seal this world from a gate that opened up that was allowing demons to come from the abyss into the prime material. And so again, the gods sealed it to prevent them from continuing to spill into this world. And in doing so, it was such a powerful gate that they literally had to freeze half the planet to make it happen. You don't know how it's maintained or any of that. It was just, well, the gods did it, so that must be how it works.
A wizard did it.
Yeah. And you both have the same tale. And it might even be like one of the things that was your initial bond. It's like, well, what do you think it is? And you're like, wait, that's what I heard. Right? So there's that. And I will say
I would think part of our initial bond would be us getting into mischief.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We stole the ring, and then we were talking about the ring of stone and ice.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
Drinking after your mischievousness, you're like, yeah, what do you think? No, I think this. Well, that's what I think. Or your mother's name's Martha too? Sweet.
Martha!
Mother! Wait, your mother is my mother? But you're blue.
So the Dragonborn basically tells a tale that almost encompasses all of those stories into one. That there was a war amongst the gods, and then a being came and from beyond, and was so powerful that the gods had to reunite to end its threat. And its threat was that it was able to open this rift, and that there are devices around the planet that are keeping the ice at bay, but there seems to be a shift in nature and in the magical weave of the world, that maybe something has changed. And with this sign of, that Donna has seen, you all must be attached to this as well. There has to be a reason that this vision is, and why you are all here now, because they were going to use this ring themselves to figure some stuff out, but now they want to see where you lie in this path, in this prophecy, each of you. And in that, she touches the stone ring, and it glows red, then white, and then kind of, I don't want to say it, but yes, like a Stargate, a shimmery.
I'm looking up Stargate gifts right now.
Like takes the entirety of that inner ring, and she says, to find your path, you must walk through the ring and to the other side. And what might seem like days or weeks to you in there, it's only going to be seconds as you step through. But you'll find out more of yourself in passing through the stones.
Happy fun ball?
What's that?
Is it a happy fun ball on the other side? It's fine.
You're going to be stepping right next to the dead body of the hag when you step through. But
how long is this gonna take?
like I said, it could be seconds or weeks, depending on the individual. And only one can pass through at a time to learn of themselves. It's only going to be seconds out of game. It's going to be seconds. I'm just going to describe to you what happens as you pass through. If you decide to go through, you don't have to.
I'm going.
Sam's definitely gonna go because she's curious.
Oh, yes, I'm cursed with curiosity.
All right.
I mean, she's a rogue for a reason. She's too curious for her own good sometimes.
Right. Okay, so it looks like all of you kind of all line up. We'll take Semyaza first, Idana next, Fendar, Marius, and Pale will go last.
So you say it takes seconds for us to go in and come out again, or?
It's literally just stepping through, like walking through a waterfall.
It's a hyperbolic time chamber.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're doing D&D references, not D&D, DBZ references.
Yes. All right. So, Semyaza, as you step through and you feel the energy kind of wash over you, your eyes open up into a bright area of like woods, flowers. It's a beautiful like grove, but you feel different. There's something different to you, and as you turn to look back, you see your reflection in the energy of the stones, and you are a truly transformed being. Okay? You have
the pink now.
You have full-on wings, like a demon. There's smoke and just kind of like wrapping around you, and you feel comfortable in this.
She's ice heritage.
Right. But as you step through, you feel this change, and like I said, it's smoke. And is it smoke from fire, or is it smoke from evaporation of the icing? Or you can't really tell. But when you step fully through, your reflection changes yet again, and you find yourself sitting in what appears to be some sort of throne room, and you are sitting to the left of another throne that is empty. And it's not a castle or a throne room you've ever seen before in your life. And then you blink, and you are on the other side of the ring.
Ah,
Was it candy?
it was not candy. It definitely was not candy. It was not.
Said, got it.
It was not gumdrop button based.
Mm. It was something different.
You could say that.
Donna, as you step through, you feel wind strike your face, like sharply, and your hair and your clothing is starting to like blow back, right? Just blowing back. And you feel like you're flying, and when you look down and around, you see around you ships flying in the air.
Whoa.
On gossamer, some with gossamer wings, some with draconic wings, and then you look down. You're like at the bow of a ship, and you look down, and below you is water, and on the water is another fleet of ships, and you are all headed in this direction, the same direction, towards what appears to be a great mountain that has still got a lot of like ice and smoke, but fire and smoke around it, and in the sky coming towards you is like, think about How to Train Your Dragon when the full swarm is coming at you. Okay, and then as you kind of like lurch forward a little bit, you step onto the ground and you find yourself on the other side. But you kind of remember in that memory that you were leading that fleet towards that objective. Sandalar,
Yep.
you ready?
Yep.
As you step through and the shimmering energy encompasses you, you find yourself stepping into a vast room. Then that vast room multiplies into 7 similar rooms. But you're kind of like seeing them all like a circle here, then it's out, and it's 7 along a line. And have you watched The Dark Crystal?
Oh God, yes.
You know, what is it, Mogra, the woman, right? The with the eye, and she has that big machine that talks about the planetary planets, right? The big astrolobic machine, the auger thing. Yeah, there's 7 of those, right? And as you're like taking all that in, the one in front of you collapses into like just ash, and on the other side of that is a creature that is I want to say maybe about 10 foot tall. Looks like a orc, but is much larger. Has a blackened skin and wears full black plate mail. But when you look into the plate mail, you can see the basically constellations and galaxies and stars and everything, kind of like moving around in the plate mail armor. And it looks right at you, and it just says doom. And you step through, and it's all gone, and you see the wagon in front of you. And
what does it mean? Oh God, I need to journal this.
What does it mean? All right.
I'm nervous, I'm not gonna lie. It seems like everybody's having like these big white eyes when they come out. Alright.
Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, Miles, you step through. When you step through, your foot lands on the ground. Whipping cold comes across you. Your foot steps in ice, but it's not a foot that you recognize. It is clawed. It is furry, but it is yours. and your other foot, the rest of your body comes through, and you can see that you feel the urge to be on all fours instead of standing tall. You feel a bloodlust inside of you, and to your left and right and all around you are multiple armored up polar bears. And they look to you as though they're waiting for you to give them orders. And then you step through, and you almost stumble down onto your hands and knees as you catch yourself, but you feel that's a natural state of position for you. And you stand yourself up and kind of take that in. Pale, are you ready?
Oh, I'm casting dancing lights because I need a show.
You cast these, the Dragonborn caster looks at you and goes, "Okay, go ahead." As you step through, you are immediately attacked by deep darkness all around you.
I know why I casted light.
It's dark. Your dancing lights aren't there, but you can see everything. There is a redness to your vision. You can see the heat present on all the things around you, and there are bats flying all around you, and you hear a voice in your ear, and it says, "You will save us all, both the living and the dead." And you feel like a light kiss on your cheek as the brightness comes back to your back, and as you step in front of the cart or the wagon.
So bright here.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that'll end session 2.
No.
The Stormcrest.
No.
So,
we want this.
I keep editing.
Scatter.
I want to know why.
so well, I'm sure you all want to know why. Yeah, there's a lot going on there, a lot to unpack.
Yes.
I'm gonna real quick put up that.
Right?
Wow.
Guys,
Right?
thank you for
So
watching.
for everyone watching, thank you all for joining us tonight. It was a great time, and for everybody that if you came on a raid and you stayed, we appreciate you. Let your friends know that you watched and you had a good time. Kind of tell them what y'all got to experience, and I'm sure that everybody here is going to be making some TikToks to talk about what they've experienced tonight. So stay tuned. If you're not already following anybody here, make sure you do. We'll go back around the turn here so you can find where everybody's located. So low level adventurer.
Low level adventure on pretty much everything except Twitter, where I'm still I play uneasy. If you miss the good old days.
All right.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
Wacky.
Hi, I'm TTV Wackymon on literally everything you can click a button on, and I mean almost everything, because there's one thing I'm not on, and don't ask. But other than that, that's where you find me.
Perfect. Duchess.
Yeah, Duchess and Dragons on TikTok. The rest doesn't matter. TikTok it is.
All right. Lissa.
And for me, I am Geek Girl Lissa. Literally anywhere that you can click a button, as Wacky said.
Nice. And Rinksy.
I'm Rinksy.
Perfect. And I'm Tabletop Santa. And I am Tabletop Santa. I can be found on all social media platforms as Tabletop Santa. And so if you want to find me, go ahead and do so. Until next time, like I said, they've got a lot to unpack and kind of think about. And I would just want to say I had a great time with you all tonight. And I look forward to the next session where we find out where this is all going to potentially lead. And on that note, thank you for Vampiric Touch Entertainment for letting us use this platform, and again to Low Level for managing all that in the back end.
Yes.
It was awesome, and we will see you next time on the Storm.
It was never meant to be.
So long, folks.